You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth and shame the devil. I love being black.
All right, come on in, people. Come on in. We here. We live, uncut, unedited. This where black folks commune. We get together. We Democrats. We Republicans. We Independents. Whatever. We rich. We poor. Whatever part of life. We all around the United States, and we coming right here, people. Come on in. Come
You
on
already know
in.
what it is.
Come on in.
Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth and
And
shame the devil. I
All right.
love being black.
I got a great video for you guys tonight. We're still doing the follow up with the Dalton supervisor, the super mayor, Tiffany Henyard. And it's going on, people. It is going on. I tell you. And listen, again, people, how I do on this platform, I don't know how they do on other platforms, but we're not going to be talking about her hairstyle, her clothes. We're just going to be talking about the facts. So all that name calling, you can take that to another platform. We're not going to do that because I'm quite sure we all can find something that we don't like about each other. Clothing. So we're going to stay off her clothing. We're going to stay off her clothing. We're going to do that, and we're going to stick with the facts. And whoever she's sleeping in the bedroom with, we'll stay away from that too as well, because that's none of our business. She's a grown woman. She's a mother, and hey, she can do as she pleases. That's between her and God and the person that she's sleeping with. So we don't want to be personal. This is a platform that where we want to hear everybody's voice, whether you agree with the person that's talking or not. Hear them out, and I always do my best try to hear a rebuttal. Let you say your rebuttal, and that's cool. And you take it in mind, people, when you're talking, consider that we have other people that's holding on to live. So when you call in, make sure all your audio is turned down, whether you're watching me Facebook, YouTube, make sure it's turned down low, real low. Just turn it off and you still can watch. Because if you don't do that, and take your phone off speakerphone, because if you don't do that, it'll be an echo. And you know, one thing about when you podcast, the sound, the lights, and the audio, the video is always important. So I see a lot of people coming in tonight. This is your boy Martin G. Johnson, aka the Crime Chaser. It's late. This is the weekend, so some of you guys don't have to work, and you'll be in here tonight, and I know it. And I was on here last night almost 6 hours. 6 hours. We had a lot of guests, a lot of guests. So, and I'm gonna try to have the same style tonight, a panel. We have a lot of people on here tonight so far, and I need you guys to share, like, and everything. And I'm gonna give us about 5 more minutes so you guys get together, spread the word. I need you guys to share the video, tag someone, like the video. I need you to subscribe and like to my video. And those of you that used to be my friend on my other page got hacked on Facebook. So this is my backup page. So I don't want nobody feeling a certain way. Well, he blocked me. He used to be my friend. I'm still your friend when I get the page back. We'll still be friends. But right now we're operating off another page on Facebook. And so that's where we at today. And we got a great show today for you guys, a great show. As if, I don't know if we're going to top last night's show, but we're going to show enough try. It's getting gooder, better, and better, and better, and better. So I'm going to recognize some of my guests in the audience, so that's good, and I always do. G, I see you. Jules Smith, how you doing? You and your grandbaby. I see you, Jules Smith. What's up, William? All right. I see you, King Pisces. Nathan, what's up, my brother? I see you. I see you. I see you. Donna Hammond. Hey, Miss Donna. I see you. 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 Tiffany Wilson. What's up, Miss Tiffany? I see you. Appreciate you. Val Spalding. What's up, Val? What's going on? Leona Curtis Cox. Okay. They said, hey, Martin, I do not know the mayor, so I can't comment. Okay, that's understandable. That's a righteous person, you know. Also, people, if you want to donate to this page, now, you know, we don't be posting up cash apps and all that stuff, but my cash app is up. It's on the Flickr where you can see it. It's $ crime chaser, one word. If you'd like to give a donation, that'd be very helpful to this page. And you know this page costs money to run it now. We're not asking you to pay our bills. We're not asking you to pay my house mortgage and nothing like that. But if I could just cover this program, that'd be great. That'd be great. Because all my work I do is volunteer. Only people that get charged to come on this program are the businesses. And I'm charging them. But the everyday normal walking people, free of charge. If we help you find your missing loved one, it's free. If we help you to bring your story out, that is free. But if you want some advertisement, you have to come to me. You have to answer to me. All right, people. Waiting on a few more people coming in. Y'all dragging in slow tonight, but I don't know what's going on. But we here. It's almost 11 o'clock. Let me make sure I share it on my page. Share it on my page.
You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth and shame the devil. I love being black.
And we taking calls 872-299-0808. We already have one person on the phone line right now ready to talk, but I'm not ready. 872-299-0808. Also, our number is 872-297-6389 too as well. So we have two numbers. If you can't get through one number, there's a number that's over my head, which is 872-297-6389. Make sure you can call either number. If one busy, try the other one. That's what I need you guys to do. All right. Let's see. This is live, uncut, unedited. This is where we tell the truth and shame the devil. All right, let me load in. I need you guys to tag someone. All right, you guys coming in slowly but surely. We haven't got started. Come on in, people. Come on in. Come on in. We're on our way to get started. All right, come on in. Come on in. All right. We are here waiting on your opinion. This is the place where we evaluate everybody's opinion. Even if you don't think you're wrong, we got two callers in the call bank. You guys better come on in. We're doing it tonight. We're back again tonight. We was with it last night. We back again tonight. Come on in. Come on in. All right. Come on in, people. Come on in, people. Call in. Come on in. Come on in.
Miss Exotic. How you doing?
How you doing, Miss Exotic? How you doing?
How are you today? I'm fine today.
Yeah, we political tonight now. This political tonight. Political tonight.
I know y'all talking about Tiffany. Her name Tiffany.
Yeah, yes, Miss Superman. Right. We call her Superman. The Superman.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about her, but I know she just got pulled.
Yeah,
she's just going through the town doing whatever she wants. She's a little gangster lady. She ain't playing with
we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. We're definitely gonna talk about it. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, people. Wherever you are in the chat, make sure you chime in. Let me know if you're from Texas, New York, Baltimore, San Francisco, wherever, Illinois, Chicago. Tap on in. Tap on in. Tennessee, Mississippi. Vicky Gavin, I see you. Michael Stephen, I see you. Back again from California, I see you. Tion Ticey Sr., I see you. All right. Bookhart, I see you. I see you. Appreciate you. Continue forward. All right. All right. Hero Flicks Media. Rolling down 630 and Ashland. Let's go. Got somebody listen to me in the car. Teresa Banks, what's going on? Leona, we got Miss Exotic in the house already. Sandra Briggs. Hey,
Yes.
Miss Sandra Briggs in the house. All right. Sunday. What's up, Sunday? Vegas in the house. I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. Well, we got, let me see how many people we have on here now. We got 29 people. Of course, it's going to grow. We're going to, oh, I see Dr. Z on here. All right. Brooklyn, New York in the house. All right. Dr. Z is on here. All right. Evergreen Park, Illinois, Chicago is in the house. Lovejoy, Iowa is in the house. Man, they coming on in. All right, people. We're going to show this press conference that went on today. I believe that was at the election board today, and we're going to play it. And I'm going to play this, people, so you guys can hear it. We're finna get started.
City and also Park and Library Board, this is the process. People are entitled to have their opinion on who they object to, and then you have to plead your case before the electoral board.
Obviously, you were not on those ballots today. You went the caucus route. Do you have any regrets going that route with your Democratic party?
Definitely not. I will be on the ballot come April.
And so can you explain how you expect to get on the ballot as a write-in or some other type of way?
The people will put me on the ballot. So we're doing the legal routes, which you guys heard me speak to yesterday, and we will be on the ballot.
And then can you explain further in terms of the objections today, why you have your supporters, your allies, challenging supervisor candidates?
Well, I don't have anyone challenging anyone. Everybody is have their opinion to challenge whoever they like, and everybody gets the opportunity to due process. So I'm gonna let them speak this evening, and they can tell you how the process goes. As it relates to you running for office, you got to make sure your paperwork's tight. Paperwork's not tight, people can challenge you and say, hey, I want to challenge this person because they don't have enough signatures, or they forgot to file a certain form. Things of that nature is what people challenge one another on this evening.
So you're saying that you didn't ask allies, supporters to challenge various candidates. It was on their own.
Yes, it was on their own. I do not have to do that. Everyone knows this process, and anyone can challenge anybody. As you can see, you saw people willing and dealing today. I've checked to people that was trying to knock someone off the ballot, but then they wanted to save them. Conflict of interest. So you saw that with your own two eyes.
And I know yesterday you told us you felt like this whole process has been a machine of politics. Do you think that's continued today? I know you objected to an attorney representing someone. Do you feel like that's also on display?
I think politics will always be on display as it relates to government, because people play politics with the residents' minds and with their money.
And as it relates to last night's meeting, you've mentioned that Thornton Township is shutting down. Can you give a timeline, a deadline in terms of that, and how will that impact residents?
So when I mentioned that last night, I also stated that I'm waiting on legal to basically direct us on our options. As you know, I stated we are without insurance because 2 trustees did not show up to do their job, which is come and vote and make sure the people had the resources needed, which is insurance, so we can still operate. So what does that mean? People jobs are at stake. If we shut down, we got over 100-some employees. Where they gonna go? It's the holiday season. I do have a heart. That's why you still see us constantly operating, despite us not having insurance.
And when it comes to the government functions, I know you mentioned you're still figuring out the police chief with Dalton. Will he have a job tomorrow?
Well, currently right now, I'm only speaking to Township and as it relates to the electoral board. Any more questions? All right, so I'm gonna let Michael Smith come up and you can hear from him on the questions you asked me about other people.
As it relates to being an objector, I am a duly qualified registered voter here in Thornton Township, a taxpayer, and as my objection says, I want to see that the process is followed legally. That's why I submitted objections. I submit objections every election cycle. This is not the first time, but to throw a punch at the supervisor, I find very critical or funny. Napoleon Harris as well has filed objections as well against these candidates and used people to do it on his behalf, as well as Christopher Clark, who's also a candidate for supervisor. I don't know who's feeding the media the information, but let's just put it all out there. They have put individuals out to challenge candidates. The supervisor at no point asked me to put forth a challenge. I did my due diligence. I requested every person that submitted their nomination papers for whatever office they were seeking. I got them. I did my due diligence in looking through each nomination paper, and I filed my objection. As stated before, I think we ought to stick to the facts of the whole matter. We have individuals that are running for office that are not qualified. Mr. Napoleon Harris is not a duly qualified resident in Thornton Township. I think those are some of the issues that I would ask the media to look into. He is a Flossmoor resident and have been for several years.
Yep. Thank you.
I just have one other question. On December the 17th, when the board meets again, will a decision be made? What was the process that will take place then?
Well, I pray that they show up to the board meeting, because right now we don't have insurance. So I hope it don't take that long to have a meeting. I will continue to call special board meetings so that we can clear up our issues, so that our staff and our residents can have the resources they need to succeed. So I will be calling another meeting next week. If you're not paying attention, they're just trying to wear down the clock as it relates to the appointment for the trustee that's vacant. All right, Keith Price.
Good afternoon, everyone. As it relates to challenges, this is nothing new for me. I've been doing challenges in Illinois for many years. It's a part of the process. When you run for office, it tells you in the candidate's guide you should seek legal advice. So when people make major flaws on their paperwork, that's their mistake, not ours. If this was an NFL game, since we refer to Napoleon, if this was an NFL game and there was only 2 seconds left, you call a timeout, you're on the 50-yard line, but you got a kicker that can kick and win that game from you from that distance, that's what you do. It's part of the process. So I think there's a lot of more pressing issues than this process, especially at Thornton Township. We've had people put out misinformation on social media stating that they've called in to do it wasn't a phone poll. How was it worded? No, they called it something else, a consent to vote for insurance. We passed out information yesterday to all the news stations that showed the emails from the attorneys, which specifically said that you cannot do it, it's illegal, you must be in person. None of the news stations aired that. And we gave the actual emails that came from the law offices that represent the township. So the misinformation is being put out. I think that's some of the things that we're trying to focus on. So any questions you have, I'm willing to answer.
Just to confirm, you're Keith Price, correct?
Yes, ma'am. All right.
Do you have an official title with the township?
Well, I assist Ms. Henyard, Supervisor Henyard, and I'm the manager of the Thornton Township Food Pantry.
And do you feel confident with the objections you guys made today that those will stand on the 17th when the board hears?
I don't usually file objections frivolously. I don't do it. When I file objections, it's because mainly major flaws in paperwork. So I feel very confident. Actually, 2 people are gone already that never even got called because of major flaws. So I don't just put in shotgun challenges. I put in good, thorough, check challenges.
Okay. All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Take care.
All right. You too. Thanks.
Any other questions? Okay, we'd like to talk to you next. Thank you.
All right, this is another person is running for township as well.
How you guys doing today?
Doing well, how are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Start with first and last name and what you're running for.
My name is Nate Fields, Jr. I'm running for Thornton Township Supervisor.
And just kind of give us your thoughts on what happened today. I believe you were objected to, was it in 3 different positions?
Yes, I was objected to on three separate occasions. Might seem major to others, but I don't think it's anything to worry about. One of the objections were that I did not file my economic statement of interest, but I did file. I think the objectors missed it because the paperwork was at the back of my nomination papers instead of filed in the beginning like everyone else's. So that's one thing that's going to end up getting thrown out. But the other few are very minor for the most part.
Why are you, tell us why you're running for supervisor here.
Well, I know better, and when you know better, you do better. I've worked for Thornton Township for almost 15 years already, so I'm not new to the process. Anybody that's been involved in Thornton Township, they pretty much know who I am. I'm 33. I want to put that on record because a lot of people say I look 12. All right. But yeah, I've been a resident out here for probably about 20 years. I used to stay on 81st and Vernon. I'm in Chicago, but after that went to school at Thornwood, went to South Suburban College. Actually, Thornton Township was my first job in the lawn care business, the ZAP program. But I've worked in almost every department in Thornton Township, okay? So the passing of my godfather, Frank Zuccarelli, I feel like it's instilled in me to do the right thing within Thornton Township, and I like to continue my service for the Township of Thornton. And that's what I'm here to do. So I'm not here to fight with nobody, pick. I know that's common in politics, like a boxing match. We're supposed to be mad at each other and then shake hands and do the right thing for each other afterwards, but I'm not here to fight. I'm here to do what's right.
What do you think about the state that this township is in, and what Henyard's administration has done over the last year?
Well, things happen for a reason, I do think that the state needs a lot of improvement, It's unfortunate that, certain things are transpiring before our eyes, but we do know that it won't be forever, so we just got some work to do. And I'm really glad that the people are stepping up now because a lot more residents are getting involved in this upcoming election. And so that's what we need right here in Thornton Township and townships all over the state of Illinois.
Is there anything you learned from your time with Frank Zuccarelli that you will carry with you into your administration?
Well, compassion and there's a lot, I wish I could sum it up. But at the end of the day, we have to learn to work together and figure out a solution that works for all of us. Now we don't need the whole pie, but as long as everybody can get just a piece, that's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? At least something out of it. Something for everyone. But pushing people away and this, that, and the third. I am running as an independent candidate. Previous experience has been with Democratic parties, but I think that there shouldn't be any division. I think that choosing a specific side is kind of like divisive. So I do believe that just dealing with politics with Zuccarelli kind of taught me to kind of keep the balance, So I hope that answered your question. Okay, no problem.
All right, people, that's the start. That's where we at. That's where you heard a young man speaking. He's also a candidate for town supervisor as well. He's been challenging everything. So we're going to take the first caller. We're going to get this rolling. My first caller is 443. What's going on, 443? She was in here before I got here.
Hello.
Hey,
how
hey.
are you, Martin and the Martin family?
All right.
First, I want to say how happy I am to become a part of your platform, and I really appreciate you having me on. It's very informative. I like the fact that everyone gets to voice their opinion, and it's okay to agree to disagree. And so I'm happy about that. One of the things I wanted to discuss was the fact that Tiffany has for so long lied constantly in front of a camera, sitting at major meetings, and nobody seems, well, I won't say nobody, but her supporters seem to think that's okay. I mean, she did it on national television, and they think that's okay. How do you support someone running your town with that kind of mentality? Second of all, she could have gotten so much done in a positive light for so many young people who are coming behind her. Even her own daughter. She could have, you never know what her aspirations might have been. If mom do it, I can do it, But her legacy that she's leaving has been tarnished terribly. And it's so sad. It really is so sad. And I'm praying that the next person that comes in will turn this town around. Turn this town around. Give the people the hope and the joy that they so deserve. And I will continue to watch this outcome that happened the other night. I don't wish bad on anybody, but I always say karma has a 24/7 GPS, and it has come for her. She has left the handicap outside. She sent Keith Tyson to put center blocks up so these people can't even get to a meeting. She discouraged them from coming. But now it's happened to her. It's such a big deal. And for Keith and Michael to get on there last night, everybody in her little secret squirrel meeting, they all talk the same talk. If you pay attention, you'll hear her speaking through them. And it's just so sad. Nobody's holding her accountable. Nobody's holding this lady accountable. And I thank Jedediah for getting the ball rolling, because these people have been talking for a long time. But it seemed like once he came in and put a little fire under them, things started taking place. And I like the fact that he said he's going to stick it out. And hopefully we'll all get to see them get their joy back, get their township back, get Dalton back to where it needs to be, and put them back in a great financial state. And I'm going to be praying for them. And I ask that those of you who know where to pray for them, because they really need prayer. They really do. And we're supposed to pray for our elected officials anyway. And I thank you again, Martin. And like I said, I will be a supporter.
Okay,
and I will be on this platform for a long time.
Thank you.
Everyone have a wonderful
All
night,
right.
and I will be watching till the end.
Okay.
Tell the truth
And shame
and the devil.
All right, we're going to go to our next caller. I believe that's one of my favorites, 9161, Miss Exotic. Hey, Miss Exotic.
How are you tonight? This mayor lady, I be seeing her on television, and I don't know, she just really knows how to make people move. And no matter what they do to her, she just keeps coming back. So I'd be like, who does she know? Like, I'd be like, who is she? Who's this child parent? Who knows her? Because she can think of the wildest. When she put the center blocks up there for those people, and they couldn't go in their business or out. Like, who would even think to do that? And they're like, it's never been done in history. And I'm like, this lady knows the wig she wears. She's just, the music she plays, she's just being her. I don't know how she got in office, but whatever they doing out there, she doing a crazy job. And she's just doing what she wants to do. I don't know what they're going to do with her. But I was looking when they tried to fire her, and she came back the next day, and they was like, get her out of here. And then the next day she came and said, that wasn't legal. This lady's something else.
She's a fighter, huh?
Yeah, she's a fighter. I mean, she really can use that to do something real, because she has, now that's the only thing the lady just said, like, she could really use her power to do something powerful, as opposed to just hurting people and taking bribes and doing all of these things, mischievous things. She could really use all of that power to do some positive things. That's what she really could do, because she's a good person because of the things that she do. So she gets down to business. She know how to hire her a team of bodyguards, the biggest bodyguards I've ever seen. When she wants something done, she give an order and it gets done. So she can use all of those tips to do something real, as opposed to tear up a whole town. She could have built that town really strong had she not did all these little tactics, stopping people from being prosperous. She wouldn't give people licenses to have businesses. I'm like, every time I hear something of her, I used to be like, hey, who is she? Like, what is she doing? So I never really got into it because I kept hearing bad things. So I kept wondering, well, I'm going to hear something good down the line. And then the other day when they were sitting there trying to bring her out the office, and they said, get her right now. And then I heard that, who gonna get me? And then I said, shoot, she gonna be back. And then next morning, it was like, that was illegal. I said, this lady's something else. She's something else. She's something else. She's a very powerful woman. I love her for it. You know, I just wish she just did something more positive. Because she has the format, she has the things, she has the people, she's educated. So she can really do some things. And I hate that she's in office doing all type of crazy stuff. Because they're going to separate her from other people. And she could have did a whole bunch of positive things with that format. That's the only thing I don't like. I hate the fact that she's doing so much negative things as opposed to positive things that she can do because she has a whole town that listens to her, that she controls. So she could have did some stuff for the good.
Okay. Well, thank you for your comment. We're going to go to the next caller. Eric 470. Go ahead, caller. I think I know what that is.
Yes, Mr. Johnson. This is the lady from Atlanta. You didn't give me my first time caller list. Kind of went off on me.
There you go. All right. So
Thank you so much. Real quick, won't be long tonight.
go ahead.
Looking at talking to Michael and Keith last night myself, and they was asking me to put myself in her place, as well as they were saying that, you know, we have to protect our Black women. And I looked at them today, object to 4 Black women being on the slate. They objected to them women. Tiffany also objected to a Black woman. I mean, several Black women. She objected because the woman attorney was in the hospital and couldn't be there. And she felt like, hey, it don't matter. She's not here. The attorney not here. We object. She shouldn't be on. Chief Price said, we object. We don't want her on the ballot. These are Black women that they were talking about last night that we need to respect as a people. Not only that, my heart went out to how they did Nate Fields. Instead of them seeing a young Black man trying to do something positive in Chicago area, mentoring him. Michael Smith said he started at 18. Looked like they would mentor this young man, take him up on his wing.
You still here? Go ahead. Hello? I don't know why I went silent.
Yeah, let's be fair across the board. And when you look at, you know, Michael Smith talking about, he's talking about Napoleon Harris does not live in Thornton Township. Well, everybody said the same thing about Tiffany not living in Dalton. She got evicted out of one home in Dalton. Now she says she live with her mama. No, everybody knows she live with Kamal. But the thing about it is, and I'm just gonna say this, you can only get by doing wrong for so long. And I looked at the city councilman from Boston today. The FBI went and got her at 6 a.m. in the morning. She thought she had got away. They started investigating her in 22. They picked her up this morning, December 24. So Tiffany is not off the hook. And they got her for some less than what Tiffany doing. They got her for hiding her and her family and her boyfriend. And everybody knows Tiffany have hired her boyfriend, pay him $100,000 a year. Nobody never see him doing work. The only work they see him doing is following Tiffany around and holding her baby. So she thinks she getting by, but the FBI got that lady this morning for giving her boyfriend $7,000 in a bonus. We're not talking about $100,000. Our IRS got her. The FBI and the U.S. attorney knocked her door down this morning at 6 a.m. for those crimes. So it's just a matter of time that nobody's going to be able to protect Tiffany because the FBI, the IRS, and U.S. attorney is not going to play with her for taking taxpayers' money, giving that salary to her boyfriend, no job duties, no description. It's just a matter of time. So thank you so much, Mr. Johnson. I'm going to make a big donation to your Cash App in a few minutes. Thank you for allowing everybody to speak and just try to give us some guidance. That's the thing I see missing. Everybody's saying she okay, but nobody's telling her, this is a dangerous game to play with taxpayers' money. IRS don't play about their money. So anyway, thank you so much. I'm going to do a big Cash App to you.
Okay, before you go, no
Bye.
problem. Before you go, I want to ask you a question. If Tiffany is listening, she's probably listening. What advice would you give Miss Tiffany, as being an older woman and she's a younger woman? What advice at this point of time in her career? What would you tell her? What advice would you give her?
Okay. My advice is you got to have the right motives, and that's what the FBI kept saying today. Public servant is a privilege. It's not something that you get to benefit for yourself. It's a privilege to be a public servant. So you shouldn't get in it trying to make gain or be vindictive or be evil just because you can in that position. I think my thing would be is it's still not too late to turn around. But the rate she's going, Mr. Johnson, she's not trying to turn around. And that's what the FBI said about the black lady today. He said she knew we was investigating her, and she continued to do mess. She continued to do what she did. They said we investigated her for 2 years. She never changed. And that's the same way with Tiffany. She know the FBI investigating her. She know they sent for Kamal Wood's records and his job duties and what his job description. And she still having him running around with her doing no work. And she know they investigate. And that's why they gave that lady today 6 indictments. And she was not blameless, Tiffany. She was not disrespectful to the taxpayers. But the FBI, the IRS, and the U.S. attorney, they said she was a disgrace to society to even be a public servant. And I can imagine what they're going to say about Tiffany. So I don't, Mr. Johnson, you've been knowing her longer than me.
Mm-hmm.
I have no words. I just think she was the evilest person I ever met. Just to see her face today, object to that lady, her attorney was in the hospital, and then she got so angry with Darlene Gray Everett because she changed her objection. She changed her objection so the lady could get on the ballot. And she got so mad at her that she didn't speak to her no more. She didn't speak to her no more for not objecting to the lady being on the ballot. Again, thank you so much for this time.
All right, thank you so much. You can hang around. Okay, caller 803, you're live, uncut, unedited. Come on, caller. What's your thoughts and your opinions?
Thank you for having me on.
Your first time?
No, I've been on earlier this week.
Okay.
With you guys earlier this week on the panel.
Okay.
803 from South Carolina.
Okay.
But I just wanted to say, man, we've been watching and just almost holding our breath every moment. There's another twist, another turn in this story. But I was thinking about just some of the things that we've already seen in her past uh, almost a narcissistic, just the need to be seen, and the need to put her name on things that don't necessarily need to have her name on it. To me that just shows the pattern of how she wants to be elevated. She wants to be known, and to me that changes the motive.
Has joined.
It changes your motives. When you've got to put your name on the animal control truck, the van, the Tiffany Henyard animal control van. Is that really necessary? Seriously, is that really necessary? It's just animal control, So to me, that just it kind of is just indicative of the he wants to promote herself and be known, and to me that starts to shift. What are your motives? Are you doing what you're doing? I've heard plenty of people mention the things that have been done for the youth, or things that have been done for seniors. And then I've heard several people within the community there say that, well, these are programs that were all, now she just has, repackaged them and put her name on them. But these are a lot of programs that were already in before she came. But then, she just slaps her name on it to make it seem like she's done something so new.
Okay. I have a question for you too.
Yeah.
Since you point out so many things that she's not doing, you don't agree with. Again, just I asked a previous caller. If Tiffany is listening tonight, it's a possibility she might be listening, or some of her supporters listening. What advice that you would give her at this point of time in her career? What advice would you give her?
I'll go back to what I said a couple of nights ago. Humility. Humility is a big thing that I think will take her a lot further with a lot of things. I understand that and I can understand, sometimes depending on how you grew up and the things that you faced growing up can cause you to have a certain edge to yourself. It can cause you to have a certain chip on your shoulder to want to do things and give you that, like you told me, she's a warrior. You told me that.
Yeah,
and I cannot dispute that. I cannot dispute that. She has a determination. She has fight in her. She does. But I just think that it's centered from the wrong place. To me, it's more centered from her ego. I think she wants to do good. I think she has wanted to do good, and she's tried to do good. At the same time, it's like you can't mix the two together. You can't serve the community and also serve yourself. You have to sacrifice yourself. I think if anything else, if she can come through this and hopefully, and I don't wish anything on anyone. So I'm hoping that all of the accusations and all of these things turn out to be unfounded, to where she can still possibly have a career in politics. You know what I mean? I think this may be a good thing for her to be able to step to the side, reset, regroup herself, repackage herself, and come back in a different way. And if she does that, just to remember, at the end of the day, you are a servant. A leader is a servant first, and you have to keep that mentality.
Okay, thank you. You can hang around. All right, caller 252. Hey, caller, your thoughts, your comments, or your opinion?
Hi, Martin. Good evening, everyone.
Hey,
Martin, I sick to my stomach. This is my second call. I didn't get my horn.
Okay, hold on. You finna get your horn right now. There you go, sir. All right, I'm so sorry.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's okay. I didn't know you did that until afterwards, but thank you. I fell asleep on you last night. When I woke up this morning about 4:00, it was, and I went to sleep on the best part. And let me answer your question if I could, if she was listening tonight. Because Yes, she's a warrior. I do believe that she's a fighter. You know, most women are. When you have your heart and mind set on getting something done, most women go after it. But I would tell her, like I tell my grown children, and I have a 17-year-old as well, make good choices. You're never too old to learn a lesson. And as the gentleman just said, humility. You can't be humble if self is always the first thing that comes out of your mouth. And I was listening today to the conversation you guys had last night, and I was sick to my stomach. Because after looking at that press conference today, it was like an episode of The Little Rascals. Do they even care how they present themselves? You've got the guy in the back who's always into everything now in a suit, dressed up for what? I don't know, to look a certain way. It doesn't present well to anybody. Nobody's taking you serious at this point. Do you even care? You are not a victim. Most of the things that she's experiencing now is self-inflicted. I remember the night that those people couldn't get into Dalton for the meetings and all those things that other people have mentioned. But you get what you give. You get what you give in life. And now she's reaping what she's sown. And she doesn't like how that feels. So she's striking out at everything and everybody to explain away the impossible. You weren't ready to do what you were supposed to do that night, Tiffany. It's plain and simple. You didn't have your stuff together. So you strike out at everybody else trying to make a difference in the community. I hope that she's not arrested by the FBI. I hope on the good side of things that she's done everything that she says that she's done and in the right way. But from the outside looking in, it doesn't appear to be that. And I just want her to just go away, repackage yourself, come back and do good. But you have ruined 2 municipalities. And I don't understand how you could get up every day and move that way. She's disrespectful to the trustees. She's disrespectful to the people that she's there to serve. It's all about her. I can't hear you.
I'm here. You.
I'm sorry.
No, you here.
I'm
just listening. I'm not trying to cut you off. I'm listening.
Okay. I mean, I'm a servant.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is my patience, you know? And if you listen to people, if you listen, Tiffany, and see what they are trying to get across to you, maybe you'll have a different perspective about how you go about things from today on. Because if you don't do the self-reflection, nobody else will. You are not a victim. You are the victimizer. And you will never come out of this on the other side of this, better off having gone through it, if you don't humble yourself and look at the things that you've done wrong. You've got Michael and what is his name? Keith.
Mm-hmm.
They explain away everything that you've done. Everything that you've done, they have an answer for it. You're always telling everybody, he said last night, he said, if maybe you should look at the people that are around you. Yes, she should look at the people who she surrounded herself with. You enable her. Michael, you and Keith, you enable her behavior. And until you take accountability for the role that you've played into the destruction that she's caused in both of those cities, whether you work there or not, she's not going to take a look at it and say, okay, maybe I need to change some things, because you enable her. And Michael will show up to every press conference explain. We don't need you to explain government to us, because we've seen what he did when he had the opportunity to make a difference. He stole. He was arrested. You also defied the public's trust in you, and you lost that position. So how are you the authority now to come back and say, this is how it should be done? He needs to take a pill of humility as well. But I just want them to go away. This is so draining. And you make Black people in general look foolish, ridiculous. This is about people's lives. They can't pay bills, and you're up there talking about an election that you weren't prepared for? Move on. I'm just so over it. But I thank you, Martin, for giving me the opportunity to let it go, because this is what many of us have been feeling for the last year and a half listening at this fiasco. I want them to go away. Do something good. Go away. Have a good night.
Okay, I'm here. All right. Let's go to the next caller. We rolling tonight. Everybody getting their opinions in. All right. 2025. Before you come, caller, let me just say this. To all elected officials that are watching or listening in, or will be listening in later or the next day, you cannot do what the white people do. And I know a lot of times a lot of elected officials say, well, the white people do it. You can't do what they do. You can't get away with what they get away with. You just can't do it. You know, we're working with two sets of rules, one for them and one for us. So you cannot do what they do. I just got to tell you that. People is real. You know, we living in America and the rules are not level. They're different. Two sets of rules. And I'm just telling you. So any politician that listen to me, you can't do what these white folks do. Period. They're not going to allow you to get away with it. They're just not going to allow you to get with it. Period. I'm just telling you, politicians. I mean,
you know, Martin, it's not to cut you off.
Go ahead.
It was said once we don't have the complexion for that protection.
Yeah, Paul Mooney. Paul Mooney said that.
I could remember the name. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's correct. So that should be a warning to every black elected official, no matter if you're a woman or a man. We see the prime example of what Tiffany doing. Tiffany, be honest with you guys, and I'm not taking up for Tiffany. Listen, let me just say this. You cannot, Tiffany, if you listen to me, you cannot do what these white folks do. You can't do it. Trust me, you're going to be scrutinized. And plus, the people that look like you, they're going to jump on board with the white people and destroy you and do all types of things against you. Just not going to any politician, any elected official. So that's just how we are. We are so good, and I'm not being paid by Tiffany, nor am I being paid by Napoleon Camp. I'm just speaking facts, the truth. We are so good at tearing each other down. That's why I'm not allowing people to come on here to dog her outfits out, her hair weave, her makeup. That's personal. If you don't like it, all of us are ugly to somebody. So the point is, we need to talk about her policies, the way she's operating the village. That's all I want to hear tonight. I don't want to hear about who she's sleeping with, who you think she's sleeping with, or what this person. That doesn't matter to me. That's her personal business. But go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
Martin, the young lady who just spoke made a very good point just about her circle. Because, you know, for some reason, I really in my heart feel that there was, I think there was some using that happened somewhere. Someone saw her ambition. Someone saw that she had drive. Someone saw that she had fire. But they also saw that chink in the armor about her ego. And they knew how to kind of manipulate that, you know. And if you have the wrong people around you, like, you know, I don't want to be the one in forefront. I'll encourage you to be the one up front. I just know how to play you from behind the scenes. And I don't know if it's you know, and I'm not going to put names out there, but she's got several people who hang on with her. And I think some of them have been more of a hindrance to her because of how they are. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I think some of it has been naivety. She's been naive in some things, I think. And I think some people have really just knew how to play her the right way, mm-hmm. to where the positive things about her, they knew how to manipulate that, mm-hmm. just enough, mm-hmm. to where those positives also came back to bite her.
Hey, let me say this, and I'm going to let you come on 2025. Tiffany, she gets the blame for everything that goes on in Dalton, rightfully so, and Thornton Township, because she is the leader. But I guarantee mm-hmm. you, if Tiffany get arrested mm-hmm. or get indicted, which she's not, it's going to be a lot of more other people right along with her. Some that's probably on her team, and some that's probably not on her team anymore. So she didn't do all this by herself that all these people that's claiming. Trust me. It was some people that had their hands in the pot. See, now they threw their hand, they threw a stone, now they hiding their hand and pointing at Tiffany. But Tiffany wasn't operating all by herself.
has joined.
So let's get some of these callers because they calling in. All right, come on, 2025. Come on, caller. Thank you for holding.
I'm a new caller.
All right, look here, y'all. We got a new caller in the house. All right, thank you, caller.
This is not a new caller.
Oh, Dr. Z, why you do me like that?
Because I never did get the horn either. Now I never got the horn. You know, everybody.
I know. Well, you know.
Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey.
You know, I've been watching this story for a long time since it came out and broke, and I really do feel so sorry for those who's in Thornton Township and Dalton, because a lot of people are on fixed income out there, and they constantly getting their taxes raised, whether they on a senior citizen freeze. I don't know if that's allowed out there. Senior citizen exemption. I don't know if they're allowed to do assessments. I'm sure they are out there, but yet and still, they're suffering, all in the name of a woman. And I'm not meaning to, excuse me, my allergies is killing me. I'm not meaning to talk about her, but this woman is a narcissist. And it's not just her ego, it's her super ego. What advice would I give her? She needs to go and sit down and stay out of politics. Leave it alone. Because think about it. And I'm not trying to change the story. Look at Jesse Jackson Jr. He was one of the most powerful politics in Chicago. Is he in politics now? No. His father's begging for President Biden to pardon him. He's not getting back into politics because he was a disgrace, some of the things he has done. So she does not have that pull like Jesse Jackson Jr. does or Jesse Jackson Sr. And that's not fair to the people in Dalton. It's not fair to the people in Thornton Township area. It's not fair. Now, everyone who's associated with her, I guarantee you is going to jail. You said we do not, I believe we do not know if she's going to be indicted or not.
No.
We do not know that. We have to wait. But I know one thing, she is a big manipulator. She put everything out in front. She told what she was going to do. I mean, she put it out there. She had that big party. Was that party necessarily? Who she had, Kiki? Excuse me. Kiki Wise, what was the big celebrity name she paid over $100,000 for? Where did she get that money from?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so she put herself out there. I understand that people was around her that's manipulating her too. But somewhere inside of her, she has to have some common sense. Like, wait a minute, what are they doing? I watch her on the news conference because she's been on there every single day, 2579, they showing her. And this woman giving them all kinds of little head movements and, you know, her mouth is smart and she trying to play victim. So the people of Dalton that live there, that's been there before she was even born, are her victims. The people in the Thornton Township are victims. Some people been there before she was even born. And that's not fair for her to come in along with her little crew and take everything over and take advantage of the people that's there. And that's her super ego. That is her super ego. When she got elected, she was dressed like who? Neil Brown. This is not a joke. You are into politics. You're supposed to be dressed professional. You're supposed to act professional.
Yeah.
And now that it backed up back in her face, she crying. She playing victim. So my advice to her is quit politics. Because one thing, the federal people, they are going to come from her. They're going to come for her if they have enough evidence. And everyone that's associated with her is going right down with her. Or they're going to tell her like it is to keep them own selves out of jail or out of prison. And that's it.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Z. You got me good, Dr. Z. I didn't recognize his other number. You called me. You got me good. All right, we got a next call, another caller, 6544. Hey, caller, how you doing?
Hey, good evening, everybody.
Hey. First, you're not no
just
first time
wanna,
caller, are you? You're not a first time caller because they've been.
No.
Okay, all right,
I've
come.
called you before.
Oh, I know you are. Go ahead.
I just want to say that if there's any Black politicians listening tonight, the biggest advice, and I know I'm skipping, but the biggest advice that I will give any of them right now is stop shitting on your constituency. Stop forgetting about the people who helped to get you elected. Because it's like you said, Martin, once you get caught with your hand in the cookie jar, the powers that be that already feel like you shouldn't be holding those types of positions anyway are going to come for you, and they're going to humble you. So just respect your constituency and remember those who helped to get you elected. You don't mess over your constituency and then expect them to have your back once your fall from grace begins to happen or starts to happen. What I will say though too is it's amazing, and by no means I'm disheartened to see this Black woman in this type of position, and just everything that's surrounding her and what she's participating in. They're just playing right into the stereotype that Black people can't run nothing, and it's not just her. It's the politicians in Cook County, the Black politicians in Cook County. There's just some things that we shouldn't be dealing with as Black people when we have, the most Black politicians, I want to say, in the nation, in our city, and we go through what we go through. It's terrible. But what I will say is it is amazing, my observation. To me, she's just as narcissistic as Trump in many ways, but we see many people extending him grace while understandably, and I want to put emphasis on the word understandably, dragging her. But she really is no different from her antics wise. She really isn't any different from Trump and his cronies. If we want to be honest and candid, but we tend to be harsher on our own versus, other people who can do just as much damage to us. We don't know, they're currently, I disagreed wholeheartedly with what her cohorts were saying last night. She's currently under investigation. And like it was previously said, those are surrounding her. I hope they have their stuff in order as well, because, you best believe they looking at all of them. And I wouldn't be surprised. Well, I suspect the young man that, I don't know his name, could someone help me out, the one who had to resign because he did catch a charge or something like that? The guy Michael? Keith Freeman.
Lacey.
Oh, Keith Freeman.
I think it was Lacey.
Yeah.
There's a couple of us.
Lacey actually resigned.
No, Lacey was fired. Keith Freeman got indicted on bankruptcy charges. Oh, yeah,
but he's still employed.
Whoever that young man is, my money is on him.
First, what?
You best believe he's talking.
Oh, that's Keith Freeman. Then she talking about. Yeah. Well, they actually, she fired him over a board meeting, which I thought was very unprofessional. You fired Keith Freeman. You fired. I didn't like what she did that, and also what happened is she could not fire him without the board, the trustee board. So they got him back. He's still with the Dalton, but he's under the Whistleblower Act, so she couldn't fire him. So he's still on payroll. So
yeah, but I know he got into some legal trouble, but you best believe there are some people who I believe also, were doing things with her. And it's gonna come out if they decide to move forward with the case on her. We all know it's eventually going to come out, who was cooperating with the FBI as it pertains to her case if she's ever charged. because you best believe there are people talking right now. We just don't know it.
Mhm.
I think the young lady who happened to work in Dalton that was on here a few nights ago, she low key kind of alluded to it. If you want my honest opinion, she didn't give names, but she alluded to it. So she's definitely being investigated. It's just a matter of when we're going to hear them saying that they're formally charging her. So.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think the guy that said that we're too old to be wishing jail on a young lady, it's not that we're using wisdom, and then it's also common sense. It's just we old enough to know that. And Mr. Johnson said it best. He said we have different rules than white people. Trump can do it all day.
All day.
But we have different rules. She can't do what Trump do. And some things it's just obvious. They already knew she took the money, taxpayers' money, and put it in her foundation, and never reported it. Never said what she did with it. Then she got her boyfriend on payroll. She got 3 relatives, including her mama, on those payroll. Just something, you're not wishing anything on anybody, but we've been living here long enough to know with your actions, consequences to your actions. If that's the case, everybody could just run for office, steal all the taxpayers' money, and they get away with it. It's not nobody wishing. I definitely don't wish anything on her. I pray for her because she's, ambitious young lady. She reminds me of younger me, but just not that evil. But as far as being resilient and fierce, fearless and smart and know how to work in politics. But what I did learn from just being in the days with Martin Luther King and all of that, we don't have the same justice system. So they put us in them positions to set us up. Like I said, the lady today, younger than Tiffany. She was 34. Tiffany's 41. She's not a young lady. This lady's 34. They indicted her on 6 counts, arrested her. They didn't put it in the news. They didn't do anything. They didn't let her know what was going on. No, I didn't wish jail on her. But when you know that, it's just right to do right. So everybody, defending her, knowing she's doing wrong. And, my motto is, it's just right to do right. And I asked them last night.
Tell the truth.
Mr. Johnson.
And shame the
I
devil.
asked them, I said, her circle, what is Keith and Michael? Y'all enabling her. Who's telling her, she can't do this? Who's telling her, y'all say y'all been in politics, who's telling her the things she's doing is wrong? Who's telling her having these different people on payroll and the FBI is asking for this information and the IRS is asking for this information and y'all ain't telling her you can't have Kamal $100,000 a year taxpayers' money and nobody never see him at work. Nobody telling her this. So, I would love to talk to her as an older lady, old enough to be her mom and say, baby, it's not worth it. It's not, whatever you do, it's not worth it. Humble yourself, quit like the lady said, get out of politics, and let's start off. It's not worth jail time. None of that. It's so many people don't went to jail in Chicago. The governor, like they said, Jesse Jackson Jr., the guy in, they made an example out of him, and he tried to talk to Tiffany. He was in Michigan. He said, Tiffany, please, I went to jail. I've been in there. Trump pardoned me. They gave me 28 years, and he didn't do half the stuff Tiffany did. And Kwame Fitzpatrick, he be pleading for her. Tiffany, please stop it. I can tell you it's no fun. And the only reason he out because Trump pardoned him. But anyway, thank you so much. I just, I wish I could talk to her and, I'll pray with her and everything and just believe God to turn it around. But she got to want to turn around. She got to want to humble herself. Everybody want to change the crowd.
And you know something too, I think to your point of what they were saying in terms of wanting to see a black person locked up, you know, our people, we have a problem, and I think it's a historically mental problem with us as it pertains to seeing our people locked up, because in a lot of cases we know that they've done wrong, but because of our history with the police, our psyche, it's embedded in our psyche that, you know, we don't trust the police, so therefore we don't feel like, you know, they should be bothering our people, even though in some cases our people, unfortunately, are doing wrong. You know what I mean? And so I think that's a psyche issue with us, amongst us, as it pertains to, you know, the police and the law and black people in this country because of the history. You know what I mean? So in some cases, unfortunately, our people are willing to overlook the bad things that a person has done, just because we don't like the police anyway, you know. So it's really unfortunate, and, you know, it's sad to say that she has enablers because she's grown, but I'd be willing to bet you in some cases somebody probably has pulled her to the side and say, hey, you know, you might want to rethink what you're doing. It's just the point of, if you have someone as headstrong as she is she willing to listen? And when you have people that aren't willing to listen, unfortunately, they have to learn their lessons the hard way.
Okay. Let's go to the next caller, 7897. Hey, caller, you're live, uncut, unedited. 7897.
Hey, what's up, Martin? I called you yesterday. I didn't get my horn.
Okay, let's get it. That's what I'm telling you. I'm glad you came back today. Good, good. Come on with it. What's your thoughts and comments?
Good. I wanted to give some words of advice to Tiffany about, I guess, politics.
Okay, come on.
She made a conscious decision to join that arena. What is the foundation of politics? Is give and take. If you're a politician, you go before your constituents and you tell them, what you want, I will give you if you vote for me. That's a give and a take.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't learned that yet. She doesn't use that. She doesn't have those signs of a leader. The signs of a leader is the ability to make deals through diplomacy. The way that this is my understanding, the way that they fell out with her and wanted to recall her initially, because she spent so much money on that inauguration, and they tried to reel her in. And she said, nope, it's my way or the highway. I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. You remember the lady called in yesterday and was talking about all the debt that Dalton is in.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they were trying to reel her in. They said, hold on, wait a minute. We're trying to correct some things. But Tiffany doesn't seem to be interested in that. That's just from my understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Correcting those things.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just want to make an observation. Like, if you look at her, I'm trying to find out who in this political arena, her equals, she's been able to collaborate with. I haven't seen it.
Well, I know Dorothy Brown was her mentor as well when she first got elected. I know that she did serve for, I think, probably the first 9 months or something like that, Dorothy Brown. So I think Dorothy Brown resigned or was forced out. I'm not sure. I don't want to lie. So.
And again, Dorothy Brown was her employee, so it wasn't equal. I mean, like, you have all these other mayors, other politicians. Who has she collaborated with? Who's her allies? Everyone under her.
Okay. Something to think about. Yeah, something to think about.
And I think she has everyone under her because she's not going to collaborate with anyone that's going to try even attempt to tell her what's right, because that's going to cut into her allegedly scheming, thieving, all the things that she's doing wrong. So this is my opinion of why she hires all these people with these criminal backgrounds, because I'm going to pay you. You're going to do what I say. And she has this thing of, you lie so much you believe it. So she said, I'm the most powerful. And she actually believes that. She's the most powerful woman. And I don't think she's going to allow anybody to, they can attempt, but until she wants to do right, she's going to be who she is. And it's so sad.
That is so sad. Okay, we will go to the next caller. I believe that's 6544. Is that Marcus? 6544.
So Nan.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me see. Let me get it right. Hold on, Marcus. Make sure you're okay. Yeah, that's you. That's you. Go ahead, Marcus. Go ahead. And open up the screen.
Well, I will just say this: black politicians, to any black politicians that listen, they should know.
Okay.
Somebody.
Hold on. 252. I need you to turn your Facebook down or your YouTube. One of the two. Turn it down because the sound is coming from you. 252. All right. Go ahead, Marcus.
I think any black politician should know, based on the country that we live in, you're under a microscope and a magnifying glass. You can't do what these white politicians do and think you're going to get away with it. They may let you get away with it for a little while just to hang you. Because those white people, they want those areas back. They want those areas back. They want us out. And it's a prime shame that some of our black politicians get in these positions.
Oh, my phone cut off. Hold on, Marcus. My phone cut off. It does that. Hold on, 872-299-0808. Hold on, Marcus. He's still talking. My phone cut off. It does.
Hey, caller. This is Martin G, a.k.a. the Crime Chaser. Live, uncut, unedited broadcast.
Sorry about that,
Just
people.
Before you speak,
it does that
please turn
sometimes.
down all your audio. Please turn them off or down, and do not have us on speakerphone so we won't have an echo, and we'll be with you shortly. Thank you so much.
At the tone, please record your name for announcement.
Live, uncut, unedited. And Marcus still talking. Marcus. Let's see if I'm still in. I don't know. I'm in now. Marcus?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I need you to start over because my phone hung up, and start back with the black politician. I'm sorry, my phone hung up, so I got disconnected from you guys. I'm sorry. It was out of my control.
Black politicians should know that they're under a microscope and a magnifying glass based on the fact that this country is built on white supremacy. And what Tiffany is doing in Dalton is showing that she don't care about the people that helped put her in office. She's running around thinking that she's Al Capone or somebody and she's untouchable. But white people want those areas back. They want those areas back and they want blacks out. And some of these black politicians are putting the rope around their own neck and jumping over the bridge and not caring, thinking that they're untouchable. They're out of touch with the black community. They're only in touch with the black community when they won't vote. Mm-hmm. Or when some white person is about to literally hang them. Then they want to scream, help me. But you're doing black people wrong. And this goes for any black politician that might be listening to your show that's a part of it. We've seen them, Martin, come in the neighborhood, shake hands, take pictures. And these are the same people who go to Springfield and they pass laws and policies that's against the black community. It's a shame what Tiffany is doing. Dalton has become a TV reality show. People are tuning in to find out what's going on. They're scouring people's pages who are out there and trying to find out what's happening in Dalton. It's another TV show. Only these people are real and not actors.
I have a question for you. Can I interject really quick, Martin?
Yes, go ahead. Thank you for asking me. Go ahead.
Okay, I want to. We can call in from all over the country every day, and we could talk about all the things that she's done or that we believe that she's done. My question is for the people that are there. Let's just say if she's on the, it's back on there, and she wins, or she's not allowed to run this year. When are the people there going to hold their elected officials accountable? Like I said, we can call in all night, every day. But the person that has impressed me the most is Jedediah. And I really haven't been able to figure out whether he grew up there. I think sometimes there were a few times he said he was there as a young boy and he's come back. But he said something very interesting the other night in a show that he aired about his concern about people in the area of Thornton. She had more support than what people thought. And it's obviously because of the things that she's doing for the people in that community. They believe that she's a night on, I called it last night, and I'll go back to that, Joan of Arc. And that may be very impressionable to some people. But the people that are there, they need a Jedediah, I guess, to get things off the ground. But I don't see the groundswell that's needed from the constituency there to demand whoever is there, we're going to hold you accountable. What is the end game? Because we can, like I said, we can go on and on about her.
Okay, I need to ask you a question with that. How do you hold a politician accountable? I hear that word all the time, but how do you hold a politician accountable? Well,
show up.
And do what? And do what?
And when they don't vote, then you campaign. The one thing that I learned about politics early on and working in government in the first part of my career was that coalition moves your agenda. Okay. I can't. Okay. It was a lag behind you, so I thought you were still talking.
No.
The best example of a coalition and succeeding in what they do, and you don't have to agree with them. I don't agree with everything that they've done, but they've done it. The LGBTQ community. When Obama was in office, they banded together to get the legislation that they wanted. The worst thing for a politician is to hear the word no from their constituency and keep the fire under their belly. And you do that by showing up. You do that by going to your constituents and you make phone calls, you write letters, you call your local and state and federal government. You let them know, I don't want this. And the thing that the LGBTQ community did was they demanded that they get that legislation through. And they showed up in Washington. They showed up at local and state houses. They talked to those local and state officials. And they banded together to get the legislation that they wanted. And we can't do that.
You miss
the people.
One thing you left.
Always worried about.
One thing you left out.
Go ahead.
They put their money where their mouth was. That's what they did too.
Yes, they did.
You left everything. Everything you said was correct, but they bagged their talk up with their money. And politicians,
yes,
all politicians are for sale, people. I don't care what nobody say. It's two people who they cater to. The ones who they most fear, and we know that's the white folks, and the ones who's bankrolling them. They have no reason to fear black people. Now we can go in like Jedediah Brown and raise hell and Dalton, do all these things, and it's okay. But guess what? The needle still got to move. We need policy. We need legislation. I'm telling you. Now we can make noise, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with the way Jedediah do things. He have his own way of doing things. But at the end of the day, we got to have results. These politicians, they don't fear us.
And you want to know, can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
And Martin, I believe I've said this on your show before. One of the biggest reasons, and I'm going to use Chicago as an example, because it's the biggest example ever. We keep allowing the same, we'll sit and complain and say that these people aren't doing anything. But then we will sit and allow these same elected officials to get back in. And when you have people seeing that, You have some that'll just throw their hands up and say, well, I'm not voting because they're not going to do nothing anyway. You know what I'm saying? When in fact, we don't take the time to look at all the candidates. The mayoral election was a prime example of that. You know what I'm saying? We allow the same people to get elected, and then we get upset, which is very confusing to me, because if you're allowing the same people that you know for a fact aren't doing anything to get reelected, then why are you upset and surprised when they're not doing anything? You understand what I'm saying? So we have to take what I call voter accountability, and we don't do that. We don't take stock of our own mistakes as it pertains to. Now I understand the first time you vote for somebody is because that candidate spoke to you, whatever, and that's perfectly fine. But once you see what that person does when they get in office, why would you then either not vote for someone else, or, you know, to help get the word out amongst your fellow constituency, like, hey, I voted for them because of this and they didn't do that this time. So I don't think it's a good idea to get them reelected. We see that with some of these Chicago aldermen. Me personally, a lot of these Chicago aldermen shouldn't have been reelected when they sat up there and approved for Laquan McDonald's family to get that money, when they saw that video and they didn't tell their constituency. It took for people to request the FOIA Act and everything, and for them to go to court for that video to be released. And then that's when we all found out what was going on as it pertains to, you know, what happened to that young man in that video. Those aldermen shouldn't have been reelected then, but once again, we allowed them to constantly keep getting. We have to change that. You know, we really do. If we want to see results and we want our vote to count and mean something, then that's how you start holding them to the fire. When you vetting a candidate and they coming to you, that's when you let them know, okay, me and we gonna get together and we gonna talk to you with the understanding that if you can't get in there and fight and get done what we need you to get done, then we're gonna vote your ass out. That's just the bottom line. We don't make these politicians here understand that.
Let me just say this.
Yeah, I want to end with my
Go ahead.
comment.
Go ahead.
I don't want to fall asleep on.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. If Jedediah just so happens to hear this, or anyone that Miss Mary, he calls her Mother Mary, I think she's just polished and she knows what she needs to get done. Someone like her. But if they ever wanted a roadmap, the groundswell, of course, has to happen. There is a groundswell there, but they're venting to just one person. But it's not just her. Like she said, it's the whole system. And Stacey Abrams gave us a footprint on how to go about coalition building. And when you're mad enough to get the job done, and if you've moved the people in your community to be behind one objective, and if that objective is we're going to change the trajectory of our community and we're going to vote people in who vote our interests, that's when change will happen. You can't keep talking and say, this is what we need to do. You need to have people on the ground. You need to get someone like her in and say, hey, what do we need to do? Because for what the world sees from the outside in is that we have a cesspool of mayors in Chicago who don't give a damn about the constituents. And until the people there make it a mission, make it their mission to change the system as it exists now, nothing will ever change. And I hope that there are core people to get those people in place so that change can happen, but it's not going to happen overnight. It can't go another 20 years because it should be immediate. There are things that they could do immediately to bring about that change, but they have to have the right people in place. Yes, Jedediah is, he's a go-getter, but he's not going to build them a structure. And you need to have people in place that can help them do that. So I hope that someone there can hear that and say, this is what we need. And I'm so tired of every meeting when I'm able to see it. It's always the same people showing up. It can't be that people in Dalton and Thornton and in Chicago in general. If you want the change, then you have to be the change that you seek. And everybody now just sit back talking about Tiffany. it's not just Tiffany. If you want to change, you get the government you vote for and that you work for. So good night to you guys.
Okay, thank you.
I think we have to start out. I think we have to start out by stop with this identity politics. We just vote identity politics. You mentioned Stacey Abrams. I live in Atlanta, where she was bought by the political structure.
I didn't mention her for that reason, ma'am. I'm just saying the system that she put in place to get somebody elected, and that was a foolproof plan that worked.
We got to stop both identity politics.
I'm not into identity politics. Don't please put that on me. I said specifically the system that she put in place to help get those people elected. She had a groundswell of people going out into the community saying, if you want this for your community, this is what you need to do to get that person in office. I don't care what her politics are, but her message worked. And you need a system like that in place in any city to get the results that you want and to get the people that vote for your interest or that will work on behalf of your interest when they get in there and it's time to take a vote. So it's not about identity politics. Please don't subscribe that to me because that's not who I am.
Okay, let me just say, Tiffany is very smart. Tiffany is having a rally tomorrow at 12 in Chicago. Tiffany knows that, like Mr. Johnson said, money talks. You'll see all the signs Tiffany be saying, I'm going to give you all this for free. I'm feeding the seniors. I'm paying your bills. I'm doing this. So she did have busloads of people at the thing. I mean, at the caucus. She got a following because she's smart. All her life, she's been saying, I can get in. When she got to be mayor, she gave out gas. Free gas over here. Free gas. And what do seniors? Seniors, they just take to give.
Tell the truth.
Bingo, big bingo.
And shame
They
the
can go there
devil.
and get big screen TVs. So, people she knows she's smart. She knows.
I'm just going to hope that people are not that gullible. That not everybody out there is that gullible.
Seniors
Listen.
is her biggest.
Listen.
Seniors is the biggest block of voters.
Tell the
Seniors
truth.
are the biggest blocks of
Here in
voters.
Illinois, it is. Yes,
she
it is.
knows how to wine and dine them. They is on her side.
Judge
You
I
can
said
go and
that,
talk
but
to
he
them
was
right
right
now.
Yeah.
What do you
I
say?
agree with you on that. But I just hope that there's the groundswell of the people that are out there.
Okay,
They're
hold it.
more against.
Okay, let the
that are
sister
not.
finish talking. Let her finish talking. Go ahead, sister.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Good.
sorry.
Okay,
sorry.
go ahead.
I'm just saying, she's smart. Tiffany is the only trustee got elected twice in a row, from 13 to she got 13 to 17 to 20. She got, and she'll tell you because she know the game. She know the rules. Let me give them some. If I give them some, I don't care how bad I treat everybody else. Seniors ain't caring about that. They're not looking at YouTube. They're not on this time of night looking at YouTube. They free. So seniors gonna show up tomorrow at her rally. She got a rally. She sent out a letter to all of them. They attacking me. I'm not only your leader, I'm also your sister. I'm not only your sister, I'm a human being. And they doing this to me. Y'all gotta come out and help me. Come support me tomorrow. This voter suppression. She said, Martin Luther King, everybody died for us to get here. I need y'all support now. I need y'all to come out. So, of course, they faithful to her because she's been faithful to them every big bingo. And then she'll get up and feed. She take their food boxes to their house and knock on the door. I love y'all and ain't nothing y'all can do about it. Whether we can say boots on the ground or nothing like that, seniors is the biggest block of voters. And seniors is the one been getting Tiffany in. Tiffany has never lost a race. And that's why she's so confident. Beat me at the polls. You can't beat me at the polls. She's saying that. She's saying that because seniors don't care about Napoleon Harris being an NFL football player. They care about who's giving them what they want right now.
But see, I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with it. I just hope that in the midst of all of that chaos, that the groundswell that's needed in Dalton and in Thornton, those voices that say we've had enough will show up and do what they need to do in order to counter that. And I get that. I said that when I initially started talking, that that's what Jedediah said.
Yeah. Hold on, sir. Hold on. I got something on the screen to back up what the lady said about the rally and all that. I think I got the letters, 2 letters. I got that. I just put one up on the screen, so I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but it's up there on the screen. So
I saw it in the on the Dalton Politics page earlier.
Yeah. Well, let me just pick it back now. I'll let you talk. Let me just say this, people. Don't think Tiffany is a dummy. She knows what she's doing. She's strategizing. She's a fighter. We all know that she's a fighter. And she got the seniors. She got the seniors. Those are the homeowners. Those are the stakeholders in the community. The seniors. And I don't know how it is in other states, but the older people are the most voters here in the state of Illinois. I don't know how it is in other states, but it's the seniors that do vote. They really vote. The young folks, they're a lot of talk, but they don't go out and vote in mass numbers the way we should. Well, I'm older folks now, so with older people. So I'm speed limit. Go ahead. I understand. So hey, listen.
So you do the speed limit?
Yeah, I'm the speed limit. A little bit over the speed limit. 56 now. Go ahead, my brother. Go ahead. Go ahead.
The thing, we've mentioned it a couple of times this week in the show, and from different panels, and I've heard it several times this week. Nothing is free.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. In the game of politics and the game of money, nothing is free. For every free, quote unquote, thing that you think you're getting, it is coming from somewhere. It's coming from somewhere. Those prizes from bingo. You're getting for free, quote unquote, things that are paid for by your tax money. So it's like, to me, she's done a very good job of understanding how to present the flash without giving you the explanation of how the flash works. And people get so caught up in the shiny part of it without wanting to understand, okay, well, how did we get it this way? You know, she's touting the whole thing, her whole complaint about the trustees not coming to the Thornton Township, meetings because of the $2.2 million refund, the tax refund. But, I've seen several places that have said that, once you break that down, the amount of money that each person gets is so minimal.
$30 is all right. Yeah.
So we're right. So, but you don't. You would rather flash the amount of saying, yeah, we're giving away $2.2 million. Because that sounds good.
It's
Did y'all say 30?
Yeah, 30. Yeah, when you break it down. Yeah, it depends on how many in the house. Yeah, it's 30 and under. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now, of course, she's not going to say, hey, we're going to give a rebate. We're going to give a tax-free tax refund to every homeowner in Thornton Township, and you're going to get $30. She's not going to say that. Well, what does she say? She dresses it up as saying, well, they're holding us up from giving away $2.2 million. So it's the wordplay, and she's very good at the wordplay of it. So she's very smart. I give you that. You're extremely right, Mr. Martin. She's extremely smart with understanding how to package, who to target. It's no mistake that she targets the seniors. It's no mistake that she's going after that senior block because she understands the power of the senior block, and she also understands that the seniors aren't going to ask a lot of questions. They hear free, they see free, and they're not going to ask they're not going to ask for all the details behind how is it free.
Right. So, but wouldn't that play into what the young lady was just saying? That's why it's important to have, I understood exactly what she was saying, and she's absolutely right. You have to have a team of people that are willing to go out to educate people on what exactly it is. That, and I think that's the point that a couple of people on this call is missing. we understand that the seniors are a heavy voters block here in Illinois. And Martin, you are right. They are the ones that own the homes, that pay the taxes, and they are the most dedicated voters block. But it speaks to what the young lady was saying, which is you have to have a coalition and a team of people to run a phenomenal ground game, to get the messaging out, to get the word out, and to carefully explain what exactly that means. You know what I mean? And that's what she pretty much was saying.
It's a piggyback on, but to piggyback on both of your points, at the last Dalton Township meeting, if they really did not pay attention, because everyone was, very involved with what Jedediah said when he, made his comments. But there was another young lady who said exactly the same thing. She said, if you guys really need to understand, you trustees, you need to get out in the community and you need to educate the seniors. The lady said that right there at the podium, because she understood the same conversation that we're having right now, is that education to the seniors needs to truly happen for them to truly understand what's behind the smoke and mirrors. Older people, once they have gotten set in their ways, sometimes it is difficult to navigate having that conversation with them. But if you are invested in the community, you've got to try to find a way to do it. You've got to try to find a way to make that possible. You've got to find a way to bridge the gap, to have this conversation with the seniors, to be able to, in love, without making them feel like they're, they're being talked down to, and sometimes there's a whole different list of different things that you've got to be so mindful of how to have these conversations, because once again, they are our elders. So they have to be treated with respect. They have to be embraced with love. But we also have to find a way to be able to have the communication to help them understand that this is smoke and mirrors.
And if I could add to that, because I've done it. Coalition building is not easy. It is a day by day by day activity that you cannot drop the ball. It's not something that you're going to engage in every day heavily in one area and then go the same way the next. When you're talking about coalition building, it is a 365 day a year job, and it can't be for the faint of heart. You have to do that if you want to get the government that you want in your community. You cannot take it for granted, people. And I hope that the people that are listening, and when they hear this, that are in that community, in those communities in general, will take heed. Because just like we have to do for, the next 2 years at least, I'll give them 2 years before the people who voted for that fiasco will see, this is what you voted for. I want him to give you what you actually asked for. Because in 2 years, I'm sure they'll come back the other direction.
Well, people,
they have to have that same mindset.
We need some money too,
well,
people.
The people
we need to put our money together.
We did. Tiffany at the big bingo is packed, 500 some odd seniors. But I'll never see her opponents there trying to educate. This is your tax dollars. She's not giving you anything free. Now, tomorrow, when she had a big rally, I promise you probably none of her opponents there, because they taking Tiffany for granted. That, with her record and stuff, she's not going to win. They taking her for granted, so they not showing up. They don't show up for
Why would they show up? Why would they show
Huh?
up? Why would you think that her opponents show up there? Why would
you just said they need to educate the seniors that this nothing.
You can't educate people in that manner, and that's part of coalition building. You have to know when to go and know when to hold it.
Okay,
That's not an effective.
When are they going to educate the seniors? When are they going?
You don't do it at her rally when they're already in her corner. You find a neutral place, a place that where you can reach
what they're
them.
thinking, and taking her for granted because they thinking like you.
No, they're not taking her for granted. They're being smart. And if you haven't done it, you can't speak to it. And I have done it.
I've been in politics all my life. Been in politics.
I have too, man. And we have a different way of approaching things, and I'm okay with that. But you have to be reasonable. You can't reach those people
And we
tomorrow
have
at her
to
rally.
deal with
Everybody
reality.
knows about that rally. Everybody knows because it's been on the news since she put it out. But you can't reach them when they're there to support her. That would be nothing but a probably just a argy fest. If those people that are against her show up at her rally to tell them this is what she's doing, they don't want to hear that. You have to have a place where you can be heard, and they will not be heard in an environment like that tomorrow. That's ridiculous.
Okay. My question
You
to you,
gotta be smart.
hold on. My question to you, 252, where are you going to get the seniors into one place to talk to them? Because a lot of them are not internet savvy. You know, they watch the news. They more so on the TV than anything. And so how are you going to reach them? You have to get into these senior buildings. You have to do a ground campaign, knock on these doors or something. Because
yes, you do. And the one place where you can reach them is where they reside. And if you cannot, you have to start small and build your coalition. And I don't know the day-to-day of the people that are in those communities. You said they're older communities. It's an older community. That's the job of the people who live there, to look at the dynamics of how their day-to-day go. And they can have their own meetings. They can invite them themselves. They can do their own press gaggles. They can also invite them to come into those meetings. They have a trustees meeting. The trustees at this point should be really engaging for those. I think the tea with the trustees. Then take the tea to them. That's what you call coalition. You go where they are. You meet them where they are, and how that transpires goes. I mean, that goes to the people that are out there planning. You have to strategize and strategize in the best way that's going to reach the most people with the least amount of work. But tomorrow, to send them out there, that would be a hellfire tomorrow. You have to be smart. You have to engage them and meet them where they are. And how best to do that? That depends on the people that are in your community. I don't know what they do from their day to day. They could be at the senior center where she is all day. I don't know. That's the job of the people that live there.
Let me just say this, and I want to say that I'm gonna be careful. I'm speaking in codes. Some people that call themselves leaders in our community, they are not fit to lead our community because they have no integrity. Period.
Integrity, right.
See, a lot of y'all from out of town, you don't know no better. We live here with some of these people. We've worked with them.
Right.
We know who they are. We have their resume, and we know when that dollar come up, they'll stand down, they'll sit down and flip flop on you real quick. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna say no names or nothing.
You have to have somebody that you trust.
Yeah,
you're right about that, Martin.
Yeah.
I mean, listen to you. They have to have somebody that they trust. You'd be excellent to start that conversation.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the bottom line. They have to trust you.
Yeah, they have to, because
part of the problem.
She boots on the ground. She's shoveling ice out the senior's driveway. Tiffany is taking food, putting it on their porch, talking to them. She giving them ice in the summertime.
Watermelons.
She's knocking on the door.
Well, I've seen
That's
her.
what she said. She said, they new to this. I'm true to this.
Yeah.
I've been doing this since 2013. She go knocking on the door. She get their trust. She put food on. She take them food. She get buses to take them to the doctor, to the grocery store, to the food pantry. She is boots on the ground. So whatever that coalition is you talking about, she already done did that.
Yeah.
And this is
I'm
why
talking about them going out giving them free food. Now I'm not talking about that. That's methodical. She's strategic. She's strategic, and I'll give her that. You have to combat the realities of what's on the ground. You have to meet her with the reality of the condition of them financially, that they have to see. I heard people mentioning, then they should show the warrant list. It's my understanding, and from what I've seen for myself, is that she shut all that down so the trustees can't get to the warrant list. So they don't know the actual financial condition of what's going on in Dalton. When you teach people reality, what's real and what not, what she's made it to be, it's this utopia in Dalton and everything's fine and everybody's got money and I can pay the bills and I can give you this. She's at every turn, people that are already in place, like the lady who was trying to open, the grocery store. Why would you combat that by opening your own? It's little things like that say that reeks, I'm selfish. We get all that. We know she's done all those things. But the trustees are the best people right now, and people like you, Martin, to start with just the coalition building part of it, to say we have to get a group of people together that these people will listen to and they trust.
But listen,
to get the word out.
let me say this.
This is a condition we're in.
Let me say this, and a lot of you can witness to this. This is the only platform that you can have Democrats, Republicans, independents, rich or poor, black or white, that can voice your opinion freely.
That's true.
Freely.
That's true.
Yes,
You don't have to agree with me.
Yes.
A lot of you guys
Yes.
that be saying stuff, I don't agree with it. But guess what? I'm so humble enough to allow you to speak, because I don't think that I have all the answers. So what we witnessed last night for almost 6 hours on this platform, nowhere on the internet, all these YouTubers, I had 2 of Tiffany staff members on here, and they didn't rush to get off. They stay. You might not like their response, what they were saying and deflecting, whatever, but they stay here until I got tired.
Yep.
Now y'all got to listen. They didn't pay me. They didn't hit that Cash App. It wasn't none of that. I didn't even talk to them. But what I did say that night, last night, if there's anyone from Tiffany's staff, even Tiffany herself, you're welcome to come on here. I will hear you out so you can talk to the people. A lot of people not doing it. If you're not talking their language, if you're not talking all blue, they don't want to talk to you. If you're not talking all red, they don't want to talk to you, period. If you're not backing Tiffany, they don't want to talk to you. Or if you against Tiffany, everybody have their own platform. But this platform is open, people. It's the voice of the people. This is community.
Yeah.
This is how you get community started. Now, one thing that most of us on this platform have in common, that this complexion right here. We have this complexion, and we know it's a lot of things that's going on that's against us, but we have to get out our emotions, get over our dislikes. You dumb because you vote blue. You stupid because you red. I'll move on. We have to get over there and have to a common ground. No one is going to save us. The Republicans are not going to save black people. Democrats are not going to save black people. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't be in these parties. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying if we're looking for that, it's not going to happen. We are our own solution, people. This is it. This is community. We need black Democrats. We need black Republicans. We need no politician should guess the way we should vote. They should be on the fence. They should have to come in our community and woo us for our vote.
Oh, that's work for it. That's good.
That's all I'm saying, people. But we got them people on here, vote no matter who, blue or red, y'all dummy, y'all, that's ludicrous. People, I'm telling you, why you think people come to my page, don't even know me from a can of paint? What YouTuber, what type of person going to allow you to call in their platform and they don't know you from a can of paint? And the moment the moment you say something that they don't agree with, guess what? They're going to cut you off. I've seen it on the blue side and on the red side. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys talk. I just want to put that out there.
Mr. Martin.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Martin, I want to say, according to what the young lady was just building coalition, this is the reason why I feel that it's not a sure thing that Tiffany's not going to win election in Dalton. She has been true to this, just like the other lady said. She always says that they're new to this. I'm true to this. Tiffany has spent her entire career in Dalton building that coalition with those seniors. The trustees are basically running the last leg of the race, trying to catch up, trying to build a relationship with the seniors that was already established by her. So for a lot of these seniors, I don't care how much the trustees talk right now, going forward, they're going to be wasting their breath because she has truly ingrained herself within that community. They may reach some, but I truly believe that she has truly, really deeply ingrained herself with that community. And the only part that I just feel, well, I'm just saying the part of that just feels so bad to me is that it just feels so disingenuous knowing that you're using that voter block without really being completely honest with the voter block.
That's politics.
And now that,
she win by like
have
800. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
She's playing the game.
No, go ahead.
But let me say this. She's playing, go, hold on one sister. She's playing the game, people. If you look up the word politician, mean liar. That's all what it means. I always tell people a half truth is a whole lie, period. It's deception. Practice, it's wordplay, like you guys said. We see it all the time. And listen, they knew, the caucus, and I'm going to still say it, they could not risk allowing Tiffany to be on that ballot in April or whatever, or February, whatever, because they knew that she know how to win and she have a base, especially in that Thornton Township.
Right.
They knew that. That's why they had to pull that stunt. They knew it. And I'm not on Tiffany's side of none of that. I'm not a fan of hers. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. But didn't she she boasts all the time about I won by 82%. If I remember at one point, I think didn't they say there was only like 1,800 people that voted in that election for her? It was not like a big 4,000 or 5,000 people voted for her.
Right.
It was a really small percentage of voters that voted in the election for her. So it's not, and it's 17,000 people in the Thornton Township, but only 800 people voted for her. So
because it was COVID. Most people don't go out. COVID. It was COVID.
Okay, well, it was still 800 people. And if there's 17,000 people in the township, I just have to believe that with all of the angst that she caused in that community, that we don't know who's going to come out and vote this time because she's pissed off enough people as well as she's, made a lot of them happy. We don't know the voting demographic.
Well, let me just say this. With the Thornton Township, they knew. Now, I'm not Dalton. Now, you got to remember, in the recall, she lost, but she lost in the election. She lost that. She really lost that. Right. But the judge threw it out of some technicology, whatever.
On a technicality.
Yeah, okay. So, but what I'm saying with the Thornton Township, they knew. That's why the Black Caucus did that. Not the Black Caucus. The caucus did that. They pulled that stunt. Really, I mean, it was legal in a sense, but illegal. She got a taste of her own medicine. I would say that. I'll just say that publicly. But she know how to play the game, block people out, and only let a few in. They did the same thing that she do. They took it from her playbook as well. So what I'm saying is they could not take a chance of Tiffany being on that ballot, people. They know. They said we can't.
More people in Thornton Town that vote still.
Yeah.
There's a bigger voting block in Thornton. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, it is.
Is it the 800 that voted for her as mayor, or how many?
No, that's in Dalton. That was just in Dalton. See, she never ran for. She was selected in Thornton Township. She didn't run for election. So that's the difference.
So we don't know what the voting demographics are in Thornton now for her.
Right, but it's 17. They can't take. So they figured we can't take this chance. They figured out. I'm just putting myself in their mind the way they're thinking. Like, man, we got to get her off the ballot. We got to get off the ballot.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say goodnight this time for real, guys.
Okay.
I'll leave you with this parting thought. I just wish that the people that are there, I think that about Trump as well. When I think about his presidency, that we're gonna, that craziness that will ensue in a couple of months. The same thing for her or any other politician. I don't understand why they don't govern from the middle. They would be in there so much longer and get so much more done if they had the interest of the people that are there, whether you're red, blue, or whatever independents are these days.
See,
I just don't understand that.
Well, ma'am, let me help you out. Let me help you out a little bit. I want you to think this way real quick. Most politicians, they're out for themselves, what they can get out of it. They're not thinking for the group who they represent, especially in these Black communities. Right. So a lot of people have made it here in America. They're very successful. They got their homes, their cars, and all individual. But as a group, the people that look like me, we're failing. As a group. Now, I'm not saying I'm not making no excuse for racism. It's hard. The white man got his foot on the neck. You can make it if you educate your. I'm not making no excuse on that. But as a group, we're not winning. And a lot of people normally put their individualism. Oh, I got a car. I got this in the ground. I got a house. I got that. That's nothing. Nothing. So we can't work as a group, and we don't need, let me say this too. I don't know if you know me, 252, if you're still there, but we don't need every black person to be on board. We just need the majority to get the job done. That's all. That's all we need is the majority. Well, that 51%, 52%, 53%, I don't know. But we need the majority to get the job done. That's all. I'm speaking as a group. Group politics now. Group politics. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, y'all, go ahead. I'm getting excited tonight.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Conversation.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Mark, can I say this real quick, and I'm going to leave?
Yes.
I think one of the biggest problems we have, our people are too quick to vote for someone because that's my friend or that's my friend's friend. They don't take the time, and I'm not speaking about everybody, to sit and actually go over the politicians' views on things. How, you know, what may affect me if I vote for this person, and get out of this color thing. Just because a person is African American don't mean it's the best person for you. We would like for it to be that way, but this is why we have the situation we have now. Because Gonzalez thought that Tiffany, being a young black woman, she would make all these changes, and look where we got stuck with power struck.
Well,
you know? But the average person do not sit there, especially these young people. They will not sit there. They'll go in there, pull leave, and come on out, and vote for that one person.
Let me just say this. I want to say this. I do vote identity politics. Let me just tell you the reason why. White people do it too as well. White people will vote against their own interests instead of having a Negro over them. They just can't stand a Negro being over them. They will do it. Now, I'm like this. We've gave this country 400 years of white folks over us. 400 years. And they still haven't got it right when it comes to us. Period.
Right.
And I understand what you guys saying. I understand what you're saying. We've gave them 400 years.
I was saying that to say,
I know.
I said that because that's what they would do rather than sit and read of the person's history.
Right.
Not just for the day you're voting for. You got to go back.
But think
ahead.
With that, sister, with that, we don't have much to choose for, because if the party select a person, that's all we have to go with. That's why we get stuck. Vote blue, no matter who. So, I mean, come on. I'm a registered Democrat, but I don't believe in the boys going into the girls' bathroom, and I don't believe because you got drunk that night and you had sex unprotected. Now you're pregnant. Now you want to run to the clinic. Now you lay down. Now I ain't talking about if you got raped or incest. I'm not talking about that. But when you go out there, buffer your own fault. You got to take it patient. Take it patient. So these are things that I don't. In this mass influx of immigration, come on now. There's not really enough thriving jobs here in America for us to buy a house with. Some people, listen, y'all know it. If black people, we tired of labor job. We like to sit behind a desk. We want to be, we educate ourselves. We don't want to be laboring to be laborers all day. We don't like that. And sometimes they don't want to pay. Then they talk to you like a dog, and we just don't want that anymore. And there's nothing wrong with black people wanting more and more. We put the work in this country. So that's what I'm saying, people. So listen, I do vote identity politics. I try to get out of it, but white people have left a bad taste in my mouth. Trust me. They have left, they had 400 or 500 years to get it right by us, and they still have not got it right by us. So I was like, well, I'm gonna give a brother a chance. I'm gonna give a sister a chance just because I know they ain't right, but I might just give them a chance. I mean, I've done it, but I have voted for white people over black people. I'm not saying I haven't, but most of the time when it's
you know what, I think with a lot of some of the politicians, I'm not going to say all. I think with most of them, when they do get in office, their intentions initially are good. But whatever the trap that everybody seem to keep falling in is once they get there and they see all of these things that they have access to, the
selfishness,
things that they can amass and everything, they don't know how to handle that. So ultimately, they surround themselves seemingly with the wrong people. That's the number one thing. And then the second thing is they don't know how to handle this newly found power that they have. So this is why when we're on the outside looking in, it's seemingly to us, they forget about their constituency, because at this point, they want to maintain all of these marvelous things that they're receiving from their position of power. And and that's the challenge, finding somebody who wants to stay grounded and somebody who understands that I don't care how much money someone is offering me, I'm here for the people and this is what I'm going to do. That's the challenge of finding somebody that's willing to do that. You know what I mean? I don't know. And Martin, I agree with you. Well, Black people have $1.6 trillion spending power in this country. There's a lot of things that we can do without politicians, but on a national level, in terms of how policy can still affect us, we do have to vote for someone on our collective interest. I don't think that the powers that be that's about to take control January 20th are the people for that. But, but that's the challenge. That's the challenge. Finding someone who is willing to do the work and sacrifice their pockets, for lack of a better term, for the sake and the will of their constituency. Right.
We're fighting against the party, people. The party decides who they want. Just like the Democratic Party, they didn't want Tiffany to be on the ballot. So Napoleon was their man, the Democratic Party. So they pushed her off the ballot. So that's why we in the situation we're in, because our people, our politicians are they're doing the best interest of the policy of the Democrats or who they represent. And instead of representing the people, whatever the people want, that's what they want, the majority. It's like the majority rules. You got people that didn't like Donald Trump, known racist, they say. Kamala, we don't know too much about her. She ain't Black. So we only had two choices. We didn't have other choices. So the same term that we use, you got to vote for the lesser of the two evils. I'm so tired of hearing that, people. I am so tired of hearing it.
Unfortunately, I don't think we're, and I hate to say it this way, and I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer.
Go ahead.
But we're in a system that is built this way. It will always stay this way because this is the way the system was built. It wasn't built for us. It wasn't designed for us to participate in. We have been engrafted and ingrained into a system, and now we're beholden to it. Now, we can think back to Marcus Garvey and the Pan-Africanism and the thought of the segregation of staying separate, right? And how that looked for us back in those times, right? And Black Wall Street and what happened. Every time that we as Black Americans have said, you know what, we don't want to do it in your system. We're going to build our own. And every time we've done it, the system in this country has made sure they let us understand we can't have you do that because you will become too powerful. We've got to make a point to make sure that we drive it out of you guys as fast as we can, because we know what happens when you decide to just do it for yourself and not even want to be in the system. America is afraid of us.
Let me ask you a question, sir. And I agree with you on that. But to me, and this is just to me, when we have these types of conversations and we come up with, certain solutions, what is the exact answer then? Because if you are right, we have created our own systems in the past. And that was really because we had to, because we were excluded from their institutions and everything. Mm-hmm. And so it's like, at the end of the day, me personally, Marcus Garvey had the right idea, because I don't think that we would be in certain situations that we're in. We have this narrative, and I've talked to some Africans, and they tell us all the time, we've allowed Americans and some Africans to lead us to believe that Africans don't like us, when that's not true in some cases. We know that there are some that don't like us, but for the most part, I've heard several Africans say that, you all need to, I've heard several Africans tell me we need to rethink our position in this country, because we're never going to give reparations. They're never going to give that to us. And it's like you just said, every time we've created our own economy or whatever, they've showed us that when they want to take it away and burn it down, history has told us that that's what they've done.
And they've and they continue to evolve in how they operate. Just think about it.
They are, but see, the thing is, when we have people, what I notice about us is, we do have people out there, Black people, who are trying to warn us about what the plans are, what the game plans are. We brush them aside. Our people brush them aside, tell them to shut up, sit down, or whatever. And then when those things that we were warned about come to pass, everybody's shaking their head and scratching, trying to play catch up with what came past, while they're on to the next phase. Me personally, I think Black America needs to make some type of treaty with other countries or whatever. Like I said before, we have $1 trillion spending power. That's an economy within itself. I just think that we do need to start making, because I'll tell you something. If we collectively as a group, and this is far-fetched, because I know everybody is not going to want to leave here, but if we collectively as a group pack our shit up, take our tax dollars, our creative ideas, and our innovations, and take it to a country that will appreciate us, America would be fucked up. And they would. Because they depend on our spending. They know that we're the number one consumer in this country. They know that, so that alone is crippling. That's a bold and audacious idea, what I'm saying. But we need to start deciding to think outside the box when it comes to these things, because we are not thriving in this nation. And Martin, I said this to you in the past. Yeah. Black people work off of two things. Those who are successful, they work off of materialism and individualism.
Okay, I want to say something real quick.
You're right.
I want to say something real quick. Can anybody tell me why we have such spending power? Where is that money going to? Why is it not coming back to us? Can anybody tell me that? Why is the money not coming back to us?
Because we don't shop amongst our people.
Right.
We don't shop amongst our people. The dollar, our money goes, as soon as we get our money, it goes outside the community almost immediately. And those people, those Arabs, those Asians, you know what I'm saying, other ethnicities that come in our neighborhoods, they take that money that we spend with them and they put it in their areas, in their neighborhoods. In some cases, they send that money back to their countries.
That's right.
Or whatever. And Martin, I remember when you all were out there at that nail shop, Colors Nail Shop up there on 83rd Holland, when people knew what happened, and we still saw Black women going in that
right
shop.
back to next day shopping.
They was going right. And then when you explain this, And this is why I have a problem with us, because we'll sit up and the first time a nail tech or a black nail tech or something mess up our nails or something like that, it's a one and done. I'll never go back to her.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll sit up in these shops while these people sit up and talk about us in their language. We know they talking about us in their language, and they will give you bad service, and we'll still give them people 50 million chances, all because we like the way they did our feet and our brows once.
Well,
that's a problem. That's a mental problem, if you ask me. We've become too comfortable with being disrespected. We look at it, we taking jokes too seriously. We being too serious, this, that, and the other. No, there are some things that we should not tolerate as a people, and we've gotten too comfortable because many of us feel like we've made it on a financial level. Oh, well, it's either they're not talking to me or it's cool because I got money. We've gotten too comfortable with being looked at as being mediocre. We've gotten too comfortable with that. And once we allowed ourselves to be disrespected, everything else is just following with that at this point.
Okay. Let the brother say something. Let the brother say something. Go ahead, brother.
This has been by design. And I'll try to, keep my thoughts as quickly as possible and kind of hit multiple points, because this is a multifaceted problem. It is definitely a mental issue. It is definitely a condition. We've been conditioned mentally in this country to look at ourselves certain ways. That's something that we have to still deconstruct and try to go and get through that. Another problem is when you look at what we've done as a people and how we've been able to, hey, if you don't want to include us, we can do it ourselves. At some point, America said, okay, you know what? I can't keep bombing them. It's not looking good. It doesn't look good for us to keep bombing them. So we've got to start including them. If you look at the way the Negro baseball team, the Negro baseball team, and we wouldn't have. They had to get Jackie Robinson. They had to allow Jackie Robinson to come into the big leagues because the Negro League was becoming bigger than Major League Baseball at that time. So they understood, like, wait a minute, we weren't including them. They're starting to become better and become more financially better than us. So now we got to include them. So when that inclusion started happening, there was a shift within our community with how we approach things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like, oh, well, I don't have to fight as hard. I don't have to. Oh, they're going to let me in. Oh, they're going to let me in. They're going to let me be a part of it. I don't have to fight as hard as my grandfather did and my great grandfather had to. They're actually letting me sit at the table, not understanding the only table that they were letting us sit at was the kiddie table. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But there became a different way that we started approaching ourselves to say, well, I don't want to have to fight. So if I can just get along and get a piece of whatever they're giving us, I'm satisfied with that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it goes back even to the politics.
Go ahead, brother.
Go ahead.
Now I'm saying I got two new callers.
Well, I was just saying that, and this is why it's still important for the politics, because we have to educate ourselves about politics, because even when we talk about businesses and being able to reinvest our dollars back within our own community, we have to understand being able to get the business license, zoning, all of those different things that we're not sitting at the table with right now within our own local politics. We got to get more involved with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what? And I think too, if I may say this, I think when Martin Luther King was here, Malcolm X, all of those Black people had focus and they had purpose. Once Martin Luther King got killed, Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, we have not had a strong person to stand up and not be bought by the system. So now you got a bunch of baby boomers that I was born a Democrat, I'm a die Democrat. Of course, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, none of them never based their freedom on politics. Martin Luther King was never a Democrat or Republican. He was about freedom.
But now we got a bunch of black people that feel like, you know, I was born a Democrat, I'm gonna die a Democrat, whether I believe in what they believe in, whether I believe in what they say or not, whether my values and morals line up with them. I was born a Democrat, I'm gonna stay a Democrat because, you know, that's the way they mama them, that's the way they was conditioned to think. That everybody got to think the same way. If I say I'm a Republican, black people, oh, you're a runaway slave. You're a runaway slave. How you gonna be a Democrat? They want everybody to think the same. They want you, if you not a Democrat and you want to be free to think on your own, they want to send firing darts at me. Oh, you're a runaway slave. They ain't doing that for you. When all the time we got more black politicians in office, but black is further behind than when Martin Luther King was here.
Yeah.
It's few black homeowners, it's few black owning businesses. You know, when we was coming up, my grandmama and them, they didn't make nothing but, you know, they worked in the field, made a quarter a week. But they all own homes to leave to their children. They had a piece of land to leave to you. You know, we had stuff back then. Now, you know, nobody hardly owned nothing. I remember in 2008 when the housing crash hit under Obama. Black people gave him a pass. He's still the vice president. Obama bailed out the banks for predatory lending and didn't hold them accountable for letting black people stay in their house, because in my subdivision, it was all black. During the housing crash, the blacks lost their homes, and now all illegal immigrants live around me. And what the blacks did, they got put out their homes, and then they raised the rent, but black people give them a pass. Oh, I'm still a Democrat. They don't care about the prices going up in the food stores. They don't care about how much they have to pay for milk. They don't care about how much they pay for gas. You know, Democrats. And I'm saying, what have Democrats ever done for blacks but kept them on the plantation? The only thing they ever gave us was Medicaid and food stamps that I never qualified for, and 98% of black people never qualified for it. They never gave us anything. So, but we've been loyal to them when they never been loyal to us. They never, I mean, they make excuses. Well, they didn't let Obama do nothing. Well, why would y'all vote somebody in that can't do nothing for you because they won't let them do it? So I'm just saying, they make excuses. They make excuses for Democrats, you know. But you know what? Trump won, and the black people still voted. 92% of the black women voted for him. 88% of the black men voted for him. The same as it did when Biden. But the Latinos stepped up. They said, no, hey, I ain't loyal to no party. I'm loyal to my pocket. I had more money in my pocket. I cannot survive with owning businesses, and you know it cost me this much. You know, I got more supply than demand. So Latinos stepped up and put Trump in there because they were more concerned about the economy, when the black person were more concerned about their loyalty to Democrats, whether the rent is $3,000 a month and they making $1,700 a month.
I don't. That's not true, ma'am.
Okay,
I voted
everything.
for Kamala
Okay,
Harris. I'm gonna tell you why I voted for Kamala Harris. And I don't care for neither party. I don't care for the Democratic Party. I don't care for the Republican Party, and I don't care for the Independents. The thing is, and this is what I'm really puzzled by, just as a sidebar conversation from the topic tonight, which is Tiffany Henyard. The problem is that these people, and what I didn't understand is when these people said on live TV, and these were not sound bites, these were in full conversations. These people told us what they were getting ready, what their plans were. And those policies that they were speaking on, there's only one thing that I agree with Trump on, and that is the deportation of migrants. So it's not that people were not thinking about gas and the price of milk and the price of eggs and things of that nature. These people were proposing policies that we know were not going to be beneficial to us. That's why people voted against him. And now, you know, like the lie he told about not knowing anything about Project 2025, but now the people that he's aligning his cabinet with are people from Project 2025. The policies that they're discussing, that they're planning, they're already mapping out their agenda. They're already mapping out their agenda. So now, you know, they can admit what they're admitting what they're planning on doing because it's too late. You had people days after the election, the number one Google search was, how can I change my vote? You had people actually looking up how could they change their vote because they realized at that point.
Let me say this.
Trump been the president before.
Hold on. Yeah, and we made it. We made it. When Trump was the president, we still made it. The world didn't end. Let me just say this, people.
Right.
In Chicago, and the sisters from Chicago, we know that there are no racist Republicans running the city of Chicago. That we do know. We all can agree with that. So who is to blame for the way the city of Chicago looks, especially in the black areas? You can't blame the Republicans on that. So you can't get mad because a lot of blacks voted red because of their condition. You know, they may not like Trump.
Here's what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying. I'm just talking about on a local level. I'm talking on a local level. Yeah.
I'm talking about on a national level.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about on a local level. And I said this to you. On a local level, and let me highlight this because I'm going to repeat it twice. On a local level, Democrat leadership do need a wake-up call. Let me repeat it. On a local level, the Democratic leadership here needs a wake-up call. You all have no qualms with me. I have no qualms with that. On a national level, he was not right for this country. I have to figure out what I'm going to do with my daughter as it pertains to school. She goes to Western University. And if anybody's familiar with Western University, that's downstate. And
ladies and gentlemen, way more.
Hold on.
Yeah, Trump gave way more
down there. Hold on, man. Those white
I know,
people
but I'm just
down
saying
there are already starting to show their ass because their tea daddy has won. You see what I'm saying?
Was so much better. I bought a house.
It's stuff like that where when they feel like these type of people get in office, never mind that his policy is gonna fuck them over too. It's not just gonna affect us; it's gonna affect everybody. They are the biggest recipients of Medicaid and food stamps and stuff like that.
That's my point. But the Democrats condition black people to think they was
I
going to
didn't
get.
interrupt you when you were talking. I didn't interrupt you when you were talking. The problem is that their policies is going to affect, and in 2 years, we're going to see what's going to happen. Then his policies and what they're implementing is going to affect them to the point that it may be a civil war. Because we all know when white people, the one thing I will say about them, when you get to fucking with their civil liberties, what they deem is their civil liberties and their rights, they will kill you. They don't care about the numbers that they got, whether they got the numbers in their favor or not. They will kill you. They are willing to go to war with you when they feel like you're infringing on their civil liberties and their rights. We know this. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, I think we understand that because we were so upset with this migrant situation, I don't think we didn't pay attention to how certain policies. I don't think we're going to get it as bad because we're in a blue state. However, our brothers and sisters and some of those policies have already been implemented. The fear is if it becomes a federal thing, then it will start affecting all of us because that's a national ban. Those are national things that can happen to all 50 states or whatever. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, well.
So I agree with you. On a local level, yeah, get these people out. We do need something fresh. I agree. But on a national level, no.
Yeah, well,
No.
I'll say
I
this.
think that's what we got misconstrued.
I voted for Trump. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a registered Democrat. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I voted for him because, listen, I just couldn't take the immigrants. I couldn't take them being here, and I couldn't take them people going in the boys' bathroom. Man, I just couldn't take it. I had enough of that. It was just too much for me. You know. Hey, I'll take a gamble. I mean, I'll take a gamble with things changing because I know don't nothing stay the same. But I took a gamble. I mean, I might be wrong. I might regret my vote. You know, but
and you know
I took a gamble.
Martin, not to cut you off.
Hello.
I'm sorry. But there are a lot of us that feel like that's wrong. That's what keeps getting lost in these types of discussions. There are a lot of us that don't agree with boys playing in girl sports or men dressed up as women using women's bathrooms. I think what most of us, how we feel is, I would rather fight the Democrats on that than have to fight for my child to have Title I funding to be able to go to school. You see what I'm saying? These are things that, you know, that there are certain that now we're going to have to fight as much harder, because when you start talking about school vouchers and stuff like that and getting into those types of discussions, there's going to be exclusion at some point with that. And
okay, I had, ma'am,
25 minutes.
I got to stop. I got to stop because he's been on hold for about 25 minutes, Bill. I know we flipped the script. I know now the one you just called in. You just called in now the one again.
I hung up 3 times.
I know. Go ahead, Bill. Go ahead, Bill.
Getting back online tomorrow.
Okay, come on, Bill.
First of all, we got to get in our head. Number one, both of the parties, the dominant party, they are in this game together. That's number one. Us splitting our vote is not going to show or get anything proven for us as a people as a whole. It's a lot of work that we have to do as one, as Black people, foundational Black people. We have to stick together. And as far as moving out the country, I can't think or imagine of any country, any continent that's better than the one that we helped build. I'm not gonna let fear of something holding me back or coming at me get me to leave where my people have died, that was here first. No way. I'm not going. And as far as what people this back and forth with Donald Trump, the people are acting like this man wasn't the president for 4 years already.
Right. But see,
they don't have.
Go ahead, sir. I'm sorry.
He was the president. All of the stuff that we're getting are fear tactics that's been put into us by the Democratic Party.
Right.
That has hold on. That has shown us right now in real time. We see what they feel about us. So there has to be a showing of Black people to show that no, y'all not gonna treat us like that. I don't care if it's nothing but for this one election or two, whatever it takes. But one thing for certain and two things for sure. They rule this country and this world and the Democrats first in this country off of fear. We not scared no more. Not the average
definitely not our less fortunate people. We talk about them. We talk about these little gangbangers running around here, and it's wrong. But those are the ones who got them in check, because they already bought and sold almost every politician on the local level and the federal level. They all bought and sold. It's that's not a coincidence that we got all these people that represent us and we in the same place from 60 years ago. That's not a coincidence. It's all by design. And the Democrat Party don't have to be treating us bad in public because they got token niggas that treat us bad in our face right now. We just gotta we too smart. We have been able to figure out. It might take a little time, but they keep throwing distractions at us to keep us from focusing on us and each other.
Right.
And it might be from the drugs they put in the neighborhoods, the guns, all of these, the alcohol. It's a liquor store on all four corners in the hood. That ain't happening nowhere else. And Martin said you can go to any district board community and they're thriving, but not us. And guess what? Each one of those communities, it's not that they're voting separately. They vote together. Now, I want to say this one thing to back up. A lady was on there, was talking about the coalitions and what the gays did to get what they wanted. Difference is there's gays in power. There's gays, there's judges, lawyers, billionaires, millionaires, but they ain't black. They not black. So they will get what they did get what they want. It wasn't because they fight harder than us. They stood together, but they had a power source behind them that we do not have. We don't have a power source because everybody has seen that we have sold each other out as far as representation. And that's all I got to say.
901. Go ahead, bro.
All right.
My frat brother.
All right, whatever, man. Look,
yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
Look, you've been cooking for the last couple of days and everything like that, man. I was gonna call the FBI and tell them to get you too, because you cut it off too soon, man. You know, we go 12 hours a day.
They already
you got some going here.
They already on me, and that's why they took my page. Go ahead.
Look, I do, and I have to agree with the sister and everything like that. Brother Bill, she's not what they call. She's not fear-mongering. We had that conversation before and everything. I understand what y'all say about the economic progress, but I think what she's trying to say is that, yes, we do have to get those things together, but if I cannot be able to move freely, educate my children, do those things, the basic human rights that we have. See, what this came down to, it came down to some people, it came down to economics, but for us, it came down to civil rights. And to the young lady who spoke about what have the Democrats done, every major civil rights legislation came under the Democratic Party. And I thought somebody was saying that the Republican Party, we had this money, we had that, we had these Democrat cities and all that. If you look it up, the Republican Party, the red states are the poor states in the United States of America. It is actually the blue states who pay for the red states. And you're talking about the economy. When it comes down to the economy, we had 10 recessions. Out of those 10 recessions, 8 of those recessions came from the Republican Party. It was the Democrats who had to come in and clean up that mess. She spoke about Obama, what he done. That came under Bush. He had to clean up Bush's mess. And then he handed Trump a booming economy. So the thing about the situation is we really have to check the information that we actually saying. And what that young lady is saying, she's actually, to be honest with you, she's actually telling you the truth. And unfortunately, we about to see. And y'all got to understand this very well. They're talking about it was the economy and all the rest of those things. It had nothing to do with the economy. What it had to do with was they was on the brink of making America realize what it says on paper to be true. And what they did was they was willing to take that hit, as Martin was saying. They was willing to take that hit. But now what they're saying is that they didn't understand that they're not part of the plan either. Because y'all see these people that are getting laid off and all the rest of those things, and these tariffs and all the rest of that. This thing is about to be for real. And she's actually telling you the truth.
Well,
and when it comes down to economic,
let me say something real quick. I just want to say something. I'm gonna let you talk. Don't you and her move out the country now. Don't go nowhere. Stay here now, cause Trump in office. Don't leave now. Stay here, okay? That's all I want to tell you. Go ahead. Don't.
Be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm like her on that one, to be honest with you, man, because these 4 years is not gonna be
Brother, you act like we ain't had Trump. We had Trump for. What did you do when Trump was in office 8 years ago?
Okay,
hold on. What did you do? Tell me, what did you do, brother? Was you still prosperous? Go ahead.
I was, but check this out.
Then.
But check this out. I want y'all to understand this, though. Understand this very well. He did not have the unchecked and unfettered power that he has now. He has the House, the Senate, and the Supreme Court.
Thank you.
That's what y'all don't get. He got unfeathered power. And then hold on, sister, hold on. And then the Supreme Court just stated that he cannot be prosecuted for the things that he do in office.
Exactly.
Are y'all hearing yourself?
Well,
that's the difference.
Well, yeah.
He had people
of course, he's white, people.
To stop him.
He's white.
Whatever he wanted
No.
He's white.
No.
You know, this is a white country.
Hold on. Hold on, Martin. Look, and then the last time that he put those Supreme Court justices in there, the average age was 39 and 40 years old. And then they're going to have a couple of them, Clarence Thomas, they finna buy him out. He finna leave that seat. They're going to speak into it. They're going to pay him that way. He about to appoint 2 more and they're going to be 40 years. This thing right here, these people are going to make decisions and they die in that position. For the next 100 years, we'll be up under this.
Well,
for the next 100 years, we'll be up under this. And check this out. They not going to allow the mistakes and how close they came to losing what their grandfathers and grandmothers built. Their grandfathers and grandmothers was turning over their graves. And that man going to go down and they're going to put him on Mount Rushmore because he saved America. If you do a poll today, who's more popular, him or Jesus? I think he'll come in close second to Jesus. Understand what this thing is really about.
Well, that image of the Jesus they give us ain't.
After this one.
Go ahead. I got another caller. That lady you talk about too. I think she back 252. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I came
She's
back
back
because the gentleman before him, when he said the gentleman that called before this guy, who invoked my name, not by name, but he said he talked about we're not having that representation. That is a short-sighted thinking that will never get us where we need to be in this country. The LGBT community was a metaphor to how to get it. It wasn't a metaphor. They actually did it. I don't agree with the legislation, but they did the hard work to get it done. And that's the difference. And this is an edification of exactly what this young lady that was talking to the other lady in Atlanta about her. I agree with her on every point. As long as we have this division about who's doing what and what Trump is going to do for you and what he's not going to do for this group, we will never. This is exactly what they want us to do, to go at each other like this, instead of finding common ground. If you think that Trump is in office for you, if you voted for him, so be it. Vote your conscience. That's what I said. Voting is a private matter. You voted for him because he spoke to your issues. If you can live with it, so can I. But you live with the consequences of your vote. Because what we do know, as he said, is that when Trump was in office before, he had guardrails. He had people that were in there that were staples who would not allow him to take the country off the rails. This time, he does not have that. He has the Senate. He has the House. Well, he has a slim majority, so there's some hope for that they won't be able to move anything past the Senate. But those things that he can do by executive order, you better believe he's going to do it. And if you think in Atlanta, you're going to come out with your businesses on the top end of things when he's talking about tariffs, when he's already making war with China, with Canada. These are our airlines.
Mexico.
And Mexico as well. Every country that has responded to his threats thus far have already taken the position that we're not going to have this bullshit this time when you come in.
Exactly.
And if you think that he's going to be in there to legislate on your behalf when he didn't do it before, then you need to check yourself, because something is wrong with you.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't do it when he was in there the first time. What makes you think with unfettered power he's going to go in there and legislate for you? Did you read Project 25? Those things that are in that book now are coming to fruition now. They are coming to fruition.
A lot of y'all, hold on. A lot of y'all talking about Project 25 didn't even read it. Hold on. How many? Let me just say this. Hold it. A lot of y'all talking about Project 25 have not even read it. Haven't even read it all the way through. You know, and that's what killed me. Come on, you just repeat. A lot of y'all repeating talking points. You got to read. You got to know the language.
That's not true.
Listen. You have to know the language. Trust me. Hold on. Let me just say this. Do you guys know where you're living at? This is a white dominant society. That's what it is. Okay, it's controlled and owned. But that's what it is. It is what it is. If y'all don't like it, move out the country. Go somewhere else. But that's what it is.
Wow.
I'm not moving anywhere. But what I am prepared to do is to fight for what I know is right.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I'm not going to be moved because Trump is in office.
That's what I'm talking about.
Going to do for the next
under what vehicle are you going to use to fight? This sounds good, everything, but how are you going to get your redress?
It's not about redress at this point, because you know where I am with this vote this year. He's got 2 years. I'm answering your question if you'll let me get it out. For the next 2 years, here's what I'm going to do. There are sometimes, it's like children. You can tell them over and over again not to do something that you know is going to bring them harm, and they don't do it until they don't get it until they actually feel it for themselves. That's what this country is going to go through for the next 2 years.
No, I don't know.
You
but you said fight, though. But
see what you voted for. And when you see what you voted for, then in 2 years, you'll be able to make the redress, because he's got the House, the Senate, and he's got the Supreme Court who's made him king. And there's absolutely nothing you can do but to keep your elected officials, hold their feet to the fire, and get them to vote your interest. And if they don't, then you vote them out in 2 years. But we're in this predicament now because people voted this clown in office.
Well, let me just say this. Let me just say this, and I'll let you go 901. Well, he got 2 years to do whatever he's going to do outside of stuff that he can make an executive order. So then it's a re-election again for the House and the Senate.
Yes.
So that's how. But the Democrats are, and they have got policies that he cannot change or reverse. So they do have that in play. So that's period.
What policies? What policies are those?
Gay marriage. That's gay marriage. That he can't reverse that. Hold on. But I'm just saying he cannot reverse that right now. That's law. It's the law of the law. It's the law of the land.
But if they have someone file a lawsuit, if they have someone file a lawsuit,
they already have
through the courts, and it goes all the way to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court can't reverse that decision. Yes, they
on the docket for this year.
Oh, hold on. As a matter of fact, Cassandra Brown Jackson, she invoked the the different couple marriages and everything like that. That's coming up. She came out with this yesterday. That's coming up within the next 60 to 90 days. They're going to make a decision on that. They're going to strike all that down.
The case for gay marriage will be on the docket in April of next year.
That's what I thought. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, this is 90 days. You're talking about 90 days.
I mean, the only thing that they can't do in the next 2 years, policies that the Democrats have made will be very hard to turn over, like the infrastructure bill. That is the most defining legislation of Biden's administration. They can't go in and undo that because it helps too many people. It's policies like that can't be overturned. But when you have groupthink and when you think nothing can be done because of who's in office, then you've already lost the battle. The battle still is going to be waged on a local level because what we all know is politics is local. And you have to start there. So my challenge this for the next 2 years is to hold my local leaders accountable. And when things that affect me and that are in my interest on the national level, then I go to my congressman, be it a Republican or a Democrat. And Democrats better wake up. Those politicians that are in Washington, they got mollywopped this election. And they didn't listen to the voters. So they have a redress period that they need to go through as well and listen to your voters. That's what they
honestly,
need to do.
Honestly, now, be honest with you, now really, and I have to agree with actually what she's actually saying. It's unfortunate, but at this point, the pain has to be felt. That's just, I mean, brace yourself.
Well,
the pain has to be felt.
We made it through 4 years of Trump. We made it 4 years of Trump before, so we can do it again.
Right.
It may not be as smooth as we wanted, but we made it. Well, we made it.
No, you said that what? Hold on. You said, hold on. You got to understand. I understand what y'all saying. I understand exactly what you're saying about that. We made it before, but the difference is the power. That's what you're not getting. The power that he actually No, the power that he actually has. The power that he actually has. And not only that, now if you think about it, not only that, he got have you seen that map? Hold on, sister. Have you seen that map? How red that map is?
Doesn't matter.
What you mean it doesn't?
Y'all missing the whole. Y'all missing the whole point.
It's not missing. You're missing.
Have you seen how red that map is? Have you seen how red that map is? What that is, they got a mandate from the people. That's a mandate from the people. Not only did it come from what you call Republicans, but you had some Democrats actually voted for them as well.
They voted for him, right?
So, hold on one second. Hold on.
Can I ask you a question? I want to ask a question. To the gentleman, what is his name, Bill? Because this really confuses me when they sit up and say fear mongering and what is the other one? Fear mongering and scare tactics. I'm confused because it's one thing to show commercials and sound bites of this, that, and the other, and okay, you could say that's fear mongering. However, what we saw this year is we had people speaking in real time. This isn't nothing that nobody made up, or these weren't commercials. These were people speaking in real time. So how is people using their own words talking about what they were going to do? How is that fear mongering and scare tactics? I'm confused on that. These people literally sat up and blatantly, they pretty much put out there what they were going to do. We at this point, we can't even fault them. We can't fault them. We can't fault them.
She telling the truth. They did put it out there.
That's what I'm not understanding. How is it fear mongering when these people sat up and said blatantly in real time what they plan to do? I have an issue.
But you keep saying what they're going to do. You keep saying what they plan to do, but you won't say anything specific.
Why do I have to be specific when you heard exactly what they said as well as I did? Come on now, we're not going to do that.
Defund education, police immunity, police
you
immunity.
Heard the same thing. Right. You heard the same thing that I heard.
Okay. Let me grab hold to police immunity. People are running away with that. It's not that a police can do whatever he wants and he's going to be immune to prosecution or anything like that, even though that's the way it's been anyway. Hold on. No. Listen. No. Police immunity means if an officer does something that's not within guidelines of policemen, his policing, he can be prosecuted. But
hold on.
They
have immunity. That's not what Trump said. That is not what he said.
That's exactly what it is. But the thing of it is,
Right now, they
Wake
should be
up!
charged.
Wake up! Wake up! Right now!
Are
Right
y'all
now!
gonna let him talk? Hold it, y'all. Are y'all gonna let him talk? Let him talk. Let him talk. Go ahead.
Right,
Bill.
right now, I explained that the policeman has to be within police guidelines, but that is not happening right now. We know of countless people who've been killed and gunned down by police, and they were acquitted. The thing of it is, what I'm trying to get everybody to see right now is everybody's steady coming up with reasons to be scared about what Trump, what this one gonna do, and he's got the power. They've been had the power. I'm telling you. And wait, this country was built.
Please let me answer him when he finishes.
No.
I think. Hold on.
The country. Hold on. The country was built on racism and to keep us down. At this point, we see what it exactly is. Whatever we thought it was is exactly what they've been showing us. At this point, stop being scared. Let's get together and stand as one, and stop worrying about what they're gonna do or what they said, and concentrate on what we need and better be doing.
Well, here, let me.
It's not going to happen. The reality is the Democratic Party and the Republican Party have been in cahoots for decades.
Sir, that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant to where we are right now.
No, it's not. No, it's very relevant.
If you would be kind enough to let someone else respond, because we didn't talk over
you. You guys have set up and had separate times to talk, 15, 20 minutes at a time, and I sat back and waited.
I haven't done that, and you've done that. So please be respectful of it, because I'm being respectful of you. You evoked my name when I wasn't even on. So I'm going to respond to you, and then I'm going to let it go.
You was able to call back and get back in line.
I called back, but I'm responding to you now.
Come on, y'all. Come on. All right.
Here's where I am with you. You're talking about people being scared. We brought up one factual argument for you to debate, and you didn't give us an honest answer back. The question that the example that I gave you was, Trump said, "I'm going to give police full immunity." Those were his exact words. Why are policemen afforded extra rights? If they're going to do things by the book, and if they're doing things within the law, they're not going to need extra rights. That's not what he said. He said he wants to give
what it was said.
Immunity. That's what he said. I'm not
finished,
sir. I didn't interrupt you. Please let me answer, and I will leave it alone.
Yes, you did.
If you want to be honest, don't be disingenuous about your answers. We're not worried. We're not scared. We evaluate what people said during this campaign and what Trump said to us directly, and we took him at his word. And you better take him at his word too, because when it comes to you or your son or your nephew being approached by one of these police, if he's going to give them full immunity to do what they want to do, because that's what he said, and that's what he said since he's been in office, then your son is going to be the one to take the brunt, or you or somebody that you love. It's not about being scared. It's taking people at face value. And Trump has shown us time and time again, he does not give a damn about Black people, and he does not give a damn about people that are not in the top 10% or the 1% actually. Mm-hmm. He legislates for them. He governs for them. He's shown us for 4 years who he is, and I believe him.
She directed the question to me. She directed the question to me, and I said what it meant. But the fact remains that they have had immunity since before either of us were even born. They have had immunity. You see it.
Yeah, that doesn't strengthen your argument at all.
No. Now y'all know. Hold it. Y'all know what he's saying. Come on now. Y'all know what he's saying. Listen. Y'all know the Chicago police.
They have had immunity.
Y'all already know that.
Can I explain the difference, please?
Hold on. They don't.
No, it's the truth. And y'all pointing out an argument.
It's your truth. Slave mentality.
All I'm saying is, no, far from a slave mentality. All I'm saying, brothers and sisters, we sitting here doing exactly what these people have programmed us to do for
how
many years? But y'all keep, every time I say I get a half a payment out, somebody has to cut me off.
And you're not right, sir. You have your opinion and we have ours. You don't.
And I respect it. I respect it,
okay,
but I hear.
You don't sit here and say someone is indoctrinated and that we are programmed. We're not. We have different opinions about how we approach things.
Slave mentality. You are.
Okay, well, coming from you, I think it's a compliment, but whatever.
The thing of it is, my whole thing, and you going ring around the rosy about it, is I'm saying something to try to help our people. You, everybody. What we've been doing, this right here, it ain't been working. Picking out what the white man gonna do or what he has done, not realizing and accepting the fact that he controls everything. We don't have nothing. Nothing. I don't care if you got a $300,000 house. I live in a nice house, but I ain't got nothing. My lineage don't have nothing in comparison.
Then build your wealth, sir. You have the same opportunities everybody else has. Then build your wealth. Okay, then. Well, don't make excuses. That's slave mentality right there. Because you have the same opportunities to make your life that everybody else has.
You don't know what. You don't take me to be some poor black man. I got resources.
Programmed and
you're very disrespectful, lady. You disrespectful.
Man,
we still as black people don't own anything. We don't produce nothing but music and entertainment for these people. That's all we are. I kill you. $1.6 trillion. They can care less if we take it somewhere else.
That's not true.
And the show, I'm getting ready to show you something. Please, let's get together and stop bickering about the small stuff when the big picture is we don't have what we supposed to have. We don't. I don't care if you're a millionaire.
Okay. And here's the thing, Mr. Bill. We understand exactly what you're saying. To the young lady, you talked about building coalitions. That's not a way to build a coalition. Show the man some respect, please. But the thing about
I wish he'd do the same thing. He's insulted me several times, and I let it go.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
so
ma'am.
It goes both ways.
No, I just oppose. Hold on,
Mr. Bill.
Okay, you're right.
Mr. Bill, let's bring it down. First, let's understand that we're on the same team. The thing about the situation is it's healthy for us to talk about these things, to get these things out. But only thing that I ask is that we open up our understanding and listen, like Martin always said, let's listen to understand what is actually being said instead of throwing out these ad hominems. Because oftentimes what will happen is people understand when you are under a system like this system is designed for this. And every time we make games, Mr. Bill, they change the goalposts every time.
I agree.
Every time. So it's hard to hit the bullseye. That's all we're trying to tell you. It's hard to hit the bullseye. We're not in like a destitute place when it comes down to it, but you got to understand the foundation of this country and what it was meant for. If they want to, if they have a difference between maintaining their power and civil rights, which one do you think they're going to choose?
I'm in full agreement with that.
No,
and that's what I'm trying to get. They're going to choose power. Power.
Thank you.
And I'm in full agreement to what you're saying, brother. All I'm saying is.
No. Hold on. Okay. Well, it's not a waste of energy because the thing about the situation is you have to start planning and being ahead. What my sisters are trying to say, and what I'm trying to say, is that look, we have to be aware of what's coming. We should have said that from the beginning, so that means that we have to take less trips, watch our spending, those things like that, watch our engagement when it comes down to the police and everything, because they have an agenda that's going to be very, very aggressive, very aggressive. They are actually attacking us on all fronts. I had to talk to my niece who's about to go to university, and I'm so conflicted because I don't want to push my fears on her, but I have to educate her on the things that's about to be said. They're starting like January 20th, and he can get inaugurated on 26th. And see, here's the thing that people are not understanding. When it comes down to these colleges and things like that, man, these professors can give our children the grades they want to give them, regardless of the fact of the grades they actually made. That's what you don't understand, because what has happened was you had a bunch of black people. We've got these degrees and everything. We compete against these people and doing all the rest of these things, making wonderful strides. For the short amount of time that we have been here in the United States, you cannot name not one other race or ethnic group of people who has made the strides that we have made. You can't say that. There's nobody like the African American in America. If you notice one thing, every struggle, let me talk to you now, every struggle all over the world, we have set the precedent. They follow our lead. Palestine, everybody, they was holding up signs that were saying what we said, were quoting Malcolm X. So the thing about the situation is we're very well aware of what's going on. And you're older than us, you're aware of what's going on as well. Basically, you lived through it before. My fear is that our kids, we put them in the suburbs, they was mingling with them and all the rest of those things, but they don't know what we know. And what I hate the most is that she's about to find out. And my fear is that's going to kill her spirit. Now, see, that's what you got to understand. This is what you call a full frontal assault on all levels. They are determined to get their country back, and I'd be damned if they're not going to do it. So the thing about the situation,
they never lost it, brother.
No, listen to what I'm saying. They almost lost it. They almost lost it. They almost lost it. They had the thing about it is I'm not gonna get into this because he lost, but if you look at her policies was gonna be one of the great equalizers.
Man, my little kid will just roll over his grave to hear these people talk. They would have never ended segregation. They would have never started.
I'm trying to realize. Yeah, some people cannot be saved. And here's one of my fears, and what I'm starting to see, and what I don't like is that. And I said it the other day, and I'm gonna say this again. I don't know the difference today between white supremacy and these so-called black folks, pro-black folks. I can't tell the difference between the two. And it's sad that I can't even tell the difference between the two. The rhetoric,
Martin Luther King had
the rhetoric. Do you understand?
And the black people had the Black Panthers.
Do you understand that y'all talking like the 1980s? The 1980s call and they want their talking points back. Y'all sound foolish.
That's the reality. Martin Luther King, we would still be riding the bus, back of the bus, with you all's mentality on here tonight. I mean,
no, that's your mentality, ma'am.
No, it's not, because I'm for freedom.
It is.
I don't know what to say.
I'm for freedom. I don't have a slave mentality.
Hold on one second.
Oh, let 470 talk. Let 470 talk. You hit that time. Go ahead, 470. Right. Go ahead.
Right. The only thing I was saying is, when Martin Luther King was here, it wasn't about no party. It wasn't about loyal to no party or scared the Ku Klux Klan was going to hang another black man the next day. He got a movement together. Everybody stuck together. Didn't nobody ride the bus in Alabama. We can't even get 5 people on this call together, to think the same way. Martin Luther King, for 265 days, black people walked everywhere they went to make a statement. White people, y'all not gonna treat us any kind of way. I don't care who in office. black people just couldn't even go in the front door of white people's house. Martin Luther King had to take a stand for us to be able to eat in restaurants right now. They had to take a stand for us not to go in hotels.
When she finished, let her finish. Let her finish.
Yes,
let her finish. Let her finish. You can ask the question.
I mean,
go ahead.
I was living when my mama had to go in the back door of white people's houses. I saw that. I saw my dad and them had to drink out a white water fountain in a black water fountain in the South. I mean, I already know what the movement was. And it wasn't black people loyal to one particular party. They were more loyal to freedom, segregation. And that's
Tell
the thing.
truth.
Martin Luther
And
King,
shame the
he got a
devil.
coalition. We was able to vote in 1964. When we got able to vote in 1964, it was the Democrats up under Edgar Hoover. We got to get rid of this nigga Martin Luther King. He causing too much havoc. He's causing these black people to be free. They killed him. They killed him when they found out he wasn't thinking like he wanted them to think. So they had Edgar Hoover, the FBI under Johnson, like he talks about the Democrats. Under Johnson, Martin Luther King was killed, and the man said it, and then the nurse, she verified it. She said Martin Luther King wasn't dead when he came here. He shot him in the shoulder. And
what does that have to do? What does that have to do with
brother? Let the sister talk. She's talking about freedom. So you talk about.
How can you side with Donald Trump if you're talking about freedom?
Okay,
How
let
in
the
the
sister.
world can you side with Donald Trump?
Hold it,
My
people.
point is, it's not about Donald Trump. It's not about Kamala Harris.
Okay.
It's about black people unified.
I'm trying to tell y'all. That's why we here. That's what I'm trying
That's
to tell
what I'm
y'all.
saying.
That's the same thing I'm saying. I'm trying to tell you.
How can you unify when you have two different ideologies? The thing about
Easy.
it is
What we listen because we got hold on. We got common ground.
And people are not people. The thing about it is, in order for you to admit that you have a problem, you got to first admit that there's a problem. Put your head in the sand and everything like that, and saying that this don't exist and all the rest of those things. That's not going to solve anything.
No, what I'm saying, but see, the thing. 901. 901. What I'm saying is, both sides tonight arguing about the difference, and the sister simply explained that King didn't fight for Democrats, or he fought for freedom, for civil rights, and that's what we need to fight for. People, neither party is going to save us. I'm just saying. I'm not against. Hold on. I'm not against. Listen. I know the Democrats side a lot of legislation in under the King administration. I know that. I'm aware of that. But what I'm saying is, what worked back then, it may not be working right now. We have to change up on some things. That's all I'm saying, people. That's all. Listen.
No, I agree. Here's the
everything
thing,
okay,
right,
yeah. That's I mean.
And you very smart. You very smart on that. But here's the question I have for you, and I was asking. What vehicle are we actually going to use this time? That's the thing about it is we need to come up with a strategy.
You know what?
What are we going to use now?
This complexion right here, it's going to unite us. This DNA that we got. We all know that we got a problem. We all can agree with that. We got a problem with either party. We all know that. We all can see flaws in each and every last party that's here represented here tonight. Now, are we going to say what we can't do, what they gonna do, or what can we do as a race of people? What are they allowing us to do right now? Either in both parties. That's what I'm saying. Don't say what we can't do. Let's say what we can do right now as a race of people. And Bill said it right. This is their country and they never lost control of it. Period. They never lost control. But what can we do? I'm talking about us as Democrats and Republicans together, black folks. What can we do to make it prosperous and a better place for us here? That's all I'm saying, people. I believe in black Democrats. I believe in black Republicans. But we got to.
Here's the thing. We are not, I don't think about it is we're not loyal to no one party. that's the thing that I think people actually get confused. The thing about it is, what we're doing is voting toward our interest and the interest of Black folks. When you say what we must do, first of all, we got to come together as a group and somehow and sit down and talk about this thing on a different level. Because what I'm saying, I have never seen so much division within the Black race and the Black community in my whole entire life. I mean, you actually got people sitting here talking about, allowing David Duke to say the N-word and all the rest of these things and giving these folks passes. And basically what I've seen is a bunch of people, and I hate to say this, but it's true in my estimation. You got a bunch of Black men that just basically bowing down and kowtowing down to a whole nother man. And as a man, I can't do that. There's certain things I just can't do as a man. I can't expect my sisters to look at me as a leader and everything, and then I'm sitting up here bowing down to somebody else on these jobs and all the rest of it. I'm gonna come home and take it off on her because I wouldn't stand up and do the right thing.
No, okay, well, let me
ask you this.
Okay, let 312 talk. Go ahead. 6544. Go ahead. You've been real quiet. Go ahead. 6544.
I have a question, and this is directed to the woman in terms of Martin Luther King and what he fought for, because I do believe in one of the last things he was quoted saying, and he believed he led his people in a burning house. He realized there were some things that he shouldn't have encouraged. However, I do agree with you in terms of he fought for freedom for his people. However, do you think that a conscious Martin Luther King would have sat up and supported the likes of Elon Musk? We talking about today. Would have supported the likes of Elon Musk and supported them passing legislation for white men to be recognized as being oppressed in this country? Do you think he would have supported that?
I think the things that Black people worrying about today has nothing to do with.
They don't answer questions. They don't answer questions.
Do you think Martin Luther King?
Martin Luther King wasn't focused on that. He was focused on
absolutely
what he could do for Black people.
They don't answer questions. They don't answer questions.
He don't answer. So you don't care about that. Like, I don't care about that. Elon Musk,
that he would have supported. Let's just talk about legislation for a minute, because they just tried to pull it.
Martin Luther King would only be concerned about the jail is full with 98% Black men, and how can he overturn Biden legislation?
That's not what I asked you, man. And let me tell you something about that.
No, I'm saying that's what he would have been fighting for.
Let me tell you
not what Elon Musk doing.
Crime bill.
You don't know the Martin Luther King we know.
Black people, that 1994 crime bill, over 60% of Black people supported that bill. Black clergy went to Washington to lobby for that bill. And this is what I be talking about. Black people need to be careful what they ask for. But I ask you, now you have the slave mentality, because if you're willing to dance with the devil with two left feet, that's a problem.
No, hold on. Who are you calling the devil? Who are you calling the devil? White people? I hope you're saying white people.
I'm calling a bunch of bigots and white supremacists the devil. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. Well, you talking about both parties then. You talking about both parties then, because they both racist. They both racist. They both racist.
Black people be racist, Martin.
Huh? Black people can't be racist.
We are the oppressed.
Do anybody think that Martin Luther King would have supported legislation?
No.
Okay. Listen.
Would have been recognized as white men as oppressed.
Let me say this. Let me say this. No. I would have thought Martin Luther King would let people knock him upside the head and don't do nothing. That ain't me. Period. So he was, listen, you ain't gonna knock me upside my head and I ain't gonna do nothing. See, every black person was going, hold on. But I'm just saying, hold on. Let me just say that. There's some things that King did. There's some things that King have done back in the past. A lot of people wasn't on board with that. Man, just stand walking, he hit you with a brick. A lot of people wasn't on board with all that. They wasn't on board with all that. People was not on board with integration.
They didn't want to go eat with the white folk. That was King. He pushed that. So he pushed that. So every black person wasn't
hold on.
hold on.
Here's the truth about that.
Come on,
happened
man.
was, what happened
Every
was
black
that
person wasn't up on that. Yeah. Go ahead,
I
bro.
understand what you're saying, but the reason why they enacted those things because America was trying to go around the world spreading democracy and everything, but also being a hypocrite on this side. That's one of the reasons why they actually did that. They did that integration, and also they found out because they came out with this thing how to sell to the Negro. They found out all the money that we had, and they integrated it on those terms and everything. We understand exactly what you actually saying, but the thing about the situation is this right here. Whenever we get close, y'all, you got to understand. Whenever we get close,
they move the goalposts.
And that they move the goalposts. That's the thing about the whole situation is. That's why I sent you that information. See, we understand that from the beginning. Just like if you think about the words that's written on these laws and these bills and all the rest of those things, when it comes down to the judicial system and all the rest of those things, they sound good on paper. But what we leave out is that people come in with their own internal biases and all the rest of that stuff. They come in being human. And then some of the things we talked about the police thing, did y'all realize that they let that police officer out that shot that woman in her kitchen? They let him out.
That's immunity. That's immunity. You can't blame that on Trump. You cannot blame. You can't blame that on Trump.
But here's the thing.
That's what Bill was trying to tell you. They getting it already.
That's not what he was saying, though.
Bill, listen, Bill, correct me if I'm wrong.
What I'm saying.
Bill said that they doing it already. Go ahead.
I know that they've done it. They've done it quite a bit. A lot of police officers have gotten off. But that's not what Trump was saying.
I didn't say that's what Trump was saying. I didn't say that. Let's correct that. I was saying that's what Bill has said. What I'm saying is Trump is not in office. That cop walked. So he's out.
Hold on. Understand what they're actually doing. Understand what they're actually doing, Martin.
Yeah.
What they're basically doing now, they're virtual signaling that this thing right here will be tolerated, that it's all right to do this. Basically, that's a permission slip. That's exactly what they do.
So
because that's a permit. No, listen. Hold on. One more thing. Hold on, ma'am. One more thing. And that gentleman, that Marine who choked that brother out, they dropped one of the charges today. And the officers down in Memphis,
now who's in office?
Officers, what they did.
Who's in office? Republicans or Democrats?
That's not what we're saying.
Understand what they're doing. They're forecasting. Understand what we're saying. What we're saying, they're forecasting. You got to understand, Mr. Bill, when the officer that incident occurred, when they actually shoot a brother and kill a brother, do you know that the Department of Justice and the AG will make the decision whether or not to prosecute those police officers?
On a civil rights level.
And that's going to be up
civil rights. That's for money. Civil rights is money. We talking about prosecution. That's criminal.
It might be money, Martin, but the thing is,
we're talking about criminal. That brother's talking about criminal. We're not talking about civil rights.
This is a criminal. They can go criminal and do this reasonable.
The Department of Justice. Let me say this, okay? Because there seems to be a misunderstanding about what exactly the immunity the police have right now. The first and foremost thing, that cop that was released for murdering Sonia Massey, they released him for jail. We talk about Sangamon County. That's down there by Springfield.
Okay.
If you think about that area, we know what that is. That's the first and foremost thing. The second thing is the police. What's going on now is they can be sued. They could be sued on a local level. That when the DOJ and the Attorney General. Hold on, wait a minute.
Where you going with this? Come on, soon.
When the Department of Justice gets involved in it, that's a federal thing. When they get involved on a local level, if local level is not doing what they're supposed to do, that's when they intervene. The difference is police officers can be charged. The city can be sued.
That's civil. That's civil.
That's civil, right?
But it's connected to the connected to the criminal charge though. But it's connected to the criminal charge though.
No.
What he's proposing is a federal immunity across the board, which means police officers will not be able. The city won't be able to be sued and they won't be able to be charged. That's what you're proposing. So they're essentially going to be riding around with free will to do whatever it is they want to do.
So, okay.
That's the difference between what the immunity that they have now
okay,
versus what he proposed.
Okay. Now I understand that. We got a new caller. I understand that. So I'm just what I want to explain to you guys right now. They've been getting immunity. So listen, white folks print money every day. They can pay you a few $1 million, $3 million, whatever it is. Trust me, we raise hell a little bit in this country, so that's nothing to them. Their faces on the money. But what I'm saying is, it's happening now. It's always have been happening. Look at the Emmett Till case.
But not the way that Trump wants it to happen. That's the difference, Mark.
Right. Okay, I agree with that. I agree with that. So, right, I agree with you. The way she just explained it, I understand it. Now, if she would explain it that way, I would have understood it much better. But let's take this new caller, 1904. Okay. I agree with that. If you want to take it off, well, they can't sue 1904. Go ahead, caller. I'm sorry for having you on hold waiting so long. Last 4 digits, 1904. Caller? I guess I had him waiting on too long.
All right, Martin. I'm going to bed this time. I'm going to bed. Let me just say this and I'm out.
Okay.
Hi, Martin.
Okay, she came back.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. 1904.
Can you hear me, Martin?
Yeah, I need you to turn your Facebook down. That's why you're not talking quick enough. Turn your volume down.
Hello, Martin.
Yeah, hi, I'm here. Turn your Facebook down or your YouTube. Turn it all the way down.
I didn't hear you at first.
I know that's because you got your Facebook playing or something. That's why, because it's delayed.
My Facebook?
Yeah.
No.
What you got playing? You can't listen to me at the same time and be on the phone because it's going to be a delay. Turn it down. Turn it all the way off or down or whatever. Then you can talk to me on the phone. All right. You ready? 1904, are you ready? While she wait, go ahead, 252. We'll just come back to her. Go ahead, 252. Go ahead.
Okay.
You gotta go to bed. Go ahead.
I just when talking, I agree with what you said about we got to try to find what we have in common. No, I can't hear Martin.
Oh, you okay? Hold on, we got another person right in front of you because we had to wait on you.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second, but I can hear y'all.
No, ma'am. Yeah, I need you to wait. I'm gonna call on you in a minute. 252 is talking right now. Go ahead, 252. Go ahead.
I agree with what you said about finding common ground, but and one of the other gentlemen said he questioned how you go about coalition building. I take that seriously. I can get heated, and when I need to defend the position, I can do that, and I can do that respectfully. But when we are, and I sure did, Martin. You have to do that, and by all accounts, I try to do that. And we can be passionate about a position. Yes, my point of view is we wouldn't.
Ma'am, 1904. You're not talking right now. I have another person that's in front of you. We were waiting on you. You must get. Do you got any audio playing or something? Because it's a delay. You're not hearing me. You got to have something playing. You cannot have Facebook or YouTube on you got to turn it all the way down and turn it off so you won't have that delay. That's all I'm asking you. I'm gonna call on you in a few minutes. I got another lady. She's in front of you. 252. Come on, 252. Go ahead.
We've got okay. And in so doing and trying to find common ground, we have to realize that there are vast differences in our thinking. And if I had to relate that in speaking with or just listening to Atlanta, I'll call her Atlanta. There's a difference in our thought processes. She comes from a different generation. And as the other gentleman said, 901, I think is what you said, you have to understand that people are going to come to the table with different opinions, and we've got to be able to respect them, but you've got to be honest about what really is. And I think a lot of older people that experienced the segregation and during that time differently than what 1904 is not something. Martin, 1904 is not talking.
I know you're not talking because I'm gonna have to call on you. I'm at the ma'am. This must be your first time calling.
People that ripple. That ripple.
Listen, 1904. Okay. I know you're not talking.
Know that.
I'm gonna call on you. I got a lady in front of you. Okay. 252. Come on, 252.
I just wanted. We have to be mindful of that. That everybody's not going to come to the table with the same opinions, and you have to be honest about where things are. I'm not going to see things the way that you see things, Atlanta. It's not me being disrespectful. You just don't agree with what I said, and I can understand that. But when we come together, we have to be able to come together and understand there are going to be differences. And you don't need to label people with those type of labels, because it steers the conversation into a place that it doesn't need to go. And it then at that point becomes just, pointless to even sit and try to have a conversation to bring together a group of people, under one common thread. We want to change things and we want to make our communities better. We have to be mindful of that. And that's not present here. And I agree with you said, Martin, it's a different time. The Martin Luther King that I studied is not the same one that she knows and that she's, witnessed during her time. It's just differences, and you have to be able to respect it, but you have to be able to acknowledge that there are differences before you can come together, and don't label people in that way, because that is offensive to me. I know who I am. I don't know who you are, and I'm not going to call you a slave mentality, and I don't know just because of what you're saying on this side. We're trying to come together to find common ground. And if we can go from there, there's hope for us still. So good night to you guys. I've enjoyed the conversation.
Right. But I want to apologize. I didn't mean to be offensive to you, and I apologize for that. I only said she was being disrespectful when you was talking over the guy, I think Bill or somebody. I wasn't saying, your thoughts was.
I could have done that better. Yes. I got that. Thank you. I could have done that better. I can be corrected.
See,
I appreciate that.
I love seeing us. I love seeing us doing this, because people. That's why God must have sent me. I know my mission to bring all us together. And I'm telling you, people.
You're doing a great job, Martin.
Listen.
Have opened up. You just opened up brilliant.
Yes, because you know what, people.
It really is.
If we could focus on what we can do in each party. If Democrats, if you guys can focus what you guys can do, Republicans, if you can focus on what you can do for the group, not for your individual self, for the group, for the group.
That's brilliant.
For the group.
That's brilliant.
Only now, we're not talking about individual.
I want to apologize to the lady that's getting off the phone, and she misunderstood me. I get real passionate about our people. I didn't say you as far as building the coalition. I didn't disagree with the coalition. I was saying the representation that the gays had, the backing and the money, and there's white people, powerful people, Hollywood people, music people, big pharma that are
backing them.
Gay.
Yes,
they are gay. They are gay.
Yeah.
The ones that represent us, black, that are truly black, foundational black. We have some representation, but we don't have the same power as the gays. I wasn't disagreeing.
But let me say this, Bill. She was only using that for analogy. She was showing that how they get things done as being the alphabet community. Okay. She didn't praise them or nothing like that. Or they powerful than us. No. She didn't do that.
I understand. But what I'm saying, all I was saying was their fight, and the way they got pushed from the back of the line to the front of the line is because of the power and the money that they possess.
But but listen, Bill, we could do the same. We could do the same thing.
Yes, we can.
We can
do anything we want.
Yeah.
We can do anything we want.
If you think about it, they use our playbook. They use our
Thank
playbook
you.
to get those things through.
Yeah. That's right.
Here's the thing, to the young lady, to the lady talking about coalition. I think you got their ear now. Don't leave now. You got their ear now. You won the battle. So you got it now. So what kind of correlation you be building? I had to keep
all right, let's go 901. Let's go to the new caller. Let's get.
Let
Let me get a new caller.
1904. Come on, new caller. 1904.
I gotta stay for this one though.
New caller. 1904. I guarantee she got that. I guarantee she got that. Yeah.
Hey, Martin.
How you doing? Can I ask you a question before we get started?
Hey, Martin.
Can I ask you a question before we get started? You see, it's a delay, people. That's because she got an audio playing. I'm telling you. See, listen. No, she got that. No, she got her Facebook or something playing. Because she listened to Facebook and it's a delay. It's a delay, people.
No, Martin.
Yes, it is.
On my phone.
Okay, ma'am. Let's hold it. Hold it, sir. I know you're talking to me on your phone, but you can't listen. I'm gonna tell you how electronics work. If you got Facebook or YouTube playing while you're on the phone, it's gonna send you a delay. It's gonna be like a lagging. You have to cut those things down or off. So now that we have a regular telephone conversation, it won't be a delay. Because when I ask you a question, it's taking you too long to answer. That's what I'm saying. Turn it off. Just turn it off.
But I did, Martin.
Okay, come on now. Let's talk.
I did.
Okay, let's talk.
And Ripple.
Don't laugh at her, y'all.
Please don't do that, y'all. Don't do that. Come on, ma'am. Come on.
No, my phone is. We were talking about Tiffany.
Okay, come on.
Yeah, don't laugh, because I don't know how to use this phone.
Ma'am.
Okay.
See, she got to see.
But with Tiffany,
okay, ma'am.
I don't like her.
Ma'am. Let's stop. Okay, can I ask you a question? How did you how are you watching this program on Facebook or YouTube? Tell me which one, which app you're watching this on.
Oh, then teach me.
If you listen, I can teach you. I'm asking you a question. Are you watching by way of YouTube or Facebook?
Facebook.
Cut the Facebook off. Cut it off. Cut it off. Period.
Facebook.
Okay. Can you cut your Facebook off? And just talk to me like on a regular telephone conversation? Patience is a virtue, people, so just bear with me. Patience is a virtue. Because I want to hear from her. She might say something that we need to hear.
Oh, God.
Ma'am, 1904?
Outside.
1904.
I don't know why.
Can you cut off just, ma'am, listen, do me a favor. All you had to do is cut off Facebook. Just cut it off. Exit out of it. Don't have it playing while you're talking to me. Don't be on the speakerphone. Just be on a regular phone, no speakerphone and no Facebook. Just talk directly on the phone. And I guarantee you won't have an echo. You won't have a delay. Been doing this for a couple of years now, so I know what to tell you. I'm teaching you.
How long have you been on, Martin?
A couple of years now.
For about 30.
Since about 3 years, since the pandemic. The pandemic, yeah.
Don't jam him up. Don't blow his head up. He got a little something going.
No.
I'm glad I called you yesterday.
But you know what? My main base was Facebook. They took that page. That was my main thing. It really wasn't YouTube. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm finally growing on YouTube now. A lot of people coming to follow me now. But Facebook was my main platform.
I don't know how to get them.
We got to blow you up, man. We got to blow you up.
Man, please do. Please, I'm waiting, man. Cause
believe me, you're blown up.
Yeah.
You're blown up in the Carolinas.
Yeah. I have the popularity because of what I've came out with the crime chasing thing. But 1904, are you there? 1904.
Sound like you go. What do you think about this, bro? What do you think about this as a starting point? I think we need to come together when we first come together. Share a common goal.
I'll sign up for it.
I think she's doing this on purpose.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna mute off.
We having a conversation.
Okay. Don't worry about it. I boot off. I boot off. Don't worry about it. She's gone. I boot off.
Come together as a love, some sort of statement. Understand that we coming from the same place, that we're not enemies. I think that's the first step.
But see, the thing is, but brother, you're right. See, the thing is,
never talk about that.
But listen, what we're doing it now. We're one thing we all got in common, that we are oppressed and we have this skin color. Okay, we know we have to work twice as hard to be great in this country. Well, 3 times as hard. We know that. We know we have to cross our T's and dot our I's. We know that we can't do what white people do and get away with it. We know that.
That's true.
We can't do it, people. That's true. Especially those of us elected officials and everything. We cannot do it, people. We cannot do it. So again,
and try to be like other people all the time.
Right.
Because the thing about it is, they always try to be like us, but then we traded. It's like this here. God made us original, and we made ourselves into copies, trying to copy those people. You can't copy nobody else and win the game.
Yeah, that's true.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
When are you on? That's what I want to know.
Huh?
When are you on? Are you on every day?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to be on every day. I was on at least about 4 or 5 days, but I'm trying because it's so hard. Because sometimes I be on for 4 hours, 3 hours. It take a lot of energy. That's why I need you guys to hit that cash. Listen, y'all hit that cash app. Because listen, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something for y'all to know it. It costs me at least in a year time, at least $3,000 a year just to run this app with these phone numbers, the app, and all that. I'm just letting y'all know a year, not at one time. So if that $10, $5, it helps. I'm not asking y'all to pay my bills, but any little bit will help out. I'm just letting y'all know. And
what is your cash app?
Right, it's up there. It's a crime chaser, one word. I've got it wrong up there. Crime chaser. Crime chaser. But
okay, let me turn the TV back on. I will. Okay.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. So I don't want nobody to pay my bills. Okay, I'm gonna put it up there. See what I'm just saying.
I mean, it's that's the least we could do.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It that way, I'm gonna keep going. I ain't gotta worry about paying the cable bill and hustling and bustling. It's other things. But that's my cash. I'm putting it up now. So it's just to, just to support people. I'm not trying to live off the people or pimp the people. I'm not none of those things, but if it could just cover the cost of me being on here, I'm good, people. It's real good. And I got receipts to prove it. Any building, anybody want to see the receipts, I can prove it. Okay. You're
right about that.
Right.
You're right about that, brother. You're right. You're right.
Now we don't have to defend you because some people gonna take it and run with it. He's begging for money. So
no, I'm not begging. No, I'm not begging. I'm not begging.
Help run his platform.
That's it. Because it costs me.
But you know how people take.
I know how they take it. Right. But listen, they get all these crooks money. These Negroes cussing women out, disrespecting black women, talking about who they screw, all them people. And they love them and give them money. Yeah.
I agree.
They give them money. But if I'm asking, I'm a righteous brother. I'm respecting everybody. You ain't never heard me use profanity on here. You ain't never heard me cuss nobody out. You ain't never heard me do none of them things. Talk up under somebody's dress or skirt or pants or none of them things. I'm just bringing straight information, and I'm sharing this platform with us. I'm sharing it. I'm not being selfish with this. Yeah, us. I'm not being selfish. I'm not being safe. Listen, 901. Man, you don't agree on everything. Yeah. China, man, you don't agree on everything. Bill, man, you don't agree on everything. But I'm willing to share the platform with all of us.
And if any of us go back and listen to this program, you will find that we all had strong talking points and pretty much was agreement on 90% of what was being said. It just was taken out of context.
Right. Well, it's cool.
It's just passion. It's passion.
It's passion. That's all.
It's all passion. But the thing about it, I think if we start off at the level, that we under the same umbrella, and all we got is each other.
Right.
And start speaking love into each other. I think that'll work.
Yes,
and one more thing. What do y'all think about this right here? That propaganda. What we need to do also is take back our music. We need to take back our image and everything, and bring that R&B back and all the rest of those things. Because if you think about it, back in the day, when they was holding up the fist at the Olympics and all the rest of those things, saying loud, I'm black and I'm proud. Those are the things that's actually missing. So
I love being black.
Revive those tools that we had before. What we did, we abandoned those things, and then moved on to the dominant society.
We wanted to fit in with the white folk. That's why I say I love being black.
Illusion of inclusion.
Yeah, we wanted to fit in. But you know, brother, 901, you got black Democrats, you got black Republicans would never come out in public say I'm proud to be black or I love being. They won't say it.
You said that.
They won't, brother. They listen. They will not say it because they so afraid. Well, if I'm too black, the white people ain't gonna vote for me. That's on both sides. That's on both sides.
That code switching, that so-called code switching. I always thought that was a detriment.
Yes.
I thought that code switching was the worst thing we could ever do. When I'm with them people, I'm this and I'm no, I'm me. That's who I am. I'm me. That's who I am. And that's who I'm gonna be. And see, the thing about it is that, like you were saying the other day, people don't respect you if you don't respect yourself, regardless of the fact. They don't respect you. I don't care how much groveling you do or none of those things. Everybody else understands what this thing is. They're not trying to make friends. They're not begging them folks to love us.
No.
They building their own damn thing.
Say it, brother.
Stop begging these people to love us.
Say it, brother.
Right.
Tell the truth.
I agree with that.
That's
What I would like to say is,
go ahead, Marcus.
Democrats and Republicans, at the end of the day, they put on a show on the floor in front of the camera. Once that show is over with, they're friends. They're sitting at the table.
I told y'all.
They're golf course playing golf.
I told
They're
y'all.
over each other's houses.
I told y'all.
Like
everything.
And they even doing dope together.
Exactly. And
there's
free
no
parties and everything. They talking about Diddy. You talking about Diddy. I did an internship at the state legislature. You talking about a Diddy party. You ain't seen a political party. Go to one of them.
I wonder how many politicians was at Diddy.
Miss China, listen, y'all don't forget, I told y'all the golden rule in politics is what? There's no permanent enemies. Remember that.
Or friends.
Yeah, no permanent enemies. So y'all remember that. Don't forget. Now, let's try 1904 again, y'all. Let's see if we can get 1904. If not, let's try again. Come on, 1904. I think that's it. 1904. 1904. See, when she not answering like that means she got the Facebook playing. It's a delay.
No.
Well, why is it taking you so long to respond? This is a regular phone line.
I can mute you. You told me to take you off of Facebook.
Right. Okay. Now come on with it. Come on now. Tell us what you want to talk.
Right.
Come on with it.
Yeah, I just want to talk about the first topic was about
Tiffany. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And I'm not a Tiffany fan. I live in Lansing.
Mm-hmm.
Man, my taxes, they went up.
What they got to do with Tiffany? Well, what they got to do with Tiffany?
Yeah, a lot to do with Tiffany. She act like she didn't. No, Martin. It has something to do with Tiffany. Because when she went to that conference, she knew. And she warned us in Lansing that our taxes would be doubled. She knew. And she didn't care. She didn't care. And she didn't care.
Okay.
Ma'am, the taxes is not a Tiffany.
No, let me explain something to you, because I don't know who you think you're talking to.
Uh-oh. Hold on, Mama.
Young lady. I
disrespect you, ma'am. I didn't disrespect you, so don't come at me like that.
All right, so don't disrespect me.
I didn't disrespect
but she
you.
Knew.
I thought you were
hold up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Bumpy face.
No, she told us. She told us.
what was going to happen in Lansing. And just going to blame it on the state? No, she knew.
Okay, ma'am. She didn't say.
Now, I'm a resident of Lansing.
Okay, ma'am.
And I know what you said
Ma'am.
I'm finna tell her something.
Ma'am, I know. I'm finna open the door where you can tell us something, ma'am. Could you just hear? She just wanted to explain something how the process works.
Martin, now you know.
Okay, but I know.
Very respectable.
I know. No, what I'm just saying is she's finna tell you how the process works, how the taxes been raised, and who does it. She's finna tell you. Just let's hear her out. Come on, Miss China.
No, she can't tell me nothing.
Why not? What you know? Tell us what you know.
I know.
You know what?
When Tiffany said y'all taxes going up, and don't blame me that your taxes going up, they're doing it.
Okay.
She tried to explain to everybody in that.
Can I say something to you? The whole South suburban area taxes went up. Some of them double.
No,
some of them
wasn't. It wasn't the whole
ma'am.
South suburban.
Yes, it was, ma'am.
Madison.
Hazelcrest.
Country Club.
Okay, well, listen, Martin, because you know I like you, and you know I see you when I see you.
Right, but still, you just gotta listen. I'm not the only one you should listen to. It's other people that know other things too. I don't know everything, and
But I do.
Okay,
I looked it up.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Come on.
Good boy.
9449. Come on. Come on.
Well, Martin.
Yeah.
A wonderful show tonight. I mean,
thank you.
You never know how the lake is gonna blow something in on your show, but I mean, and look at him, he's flowing with it. I mean, everybody knows that, there's a difference between Lansing and Dalton. A big difference, just like Chicago.
Yeah,
if taxes go up, that's not Tiffany's fault. If the taxes go up here in Chicago, it ain't Tiffany's fault, but it looks like everybody want to blame Tiffany for everything.
Well, we know Cook County.
Calling him blame Tiffany. I mean,
but we know Cook County. It's not Tiffany. It's about Cook County.
It's Crook County. It's Crook.
It's Cook County.
It's Crook County. Politicians are crooks.
Okay, people, we're gonna get ready to get off here, people. It's almost 4 hours. It's about to end.
Oh man.
Man, listen.
Oh man.
Great show. I mean, I've been on here 3 hours and 51 minutes.
And I know you have, Martin.
Yeah.
But I just don't like it. I don't like it.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say this to you. I don't like what they did to her. I don't like Tiffany, but I don't like the way they did with that caucus.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't fair.
Okay. Can I ask you a question? And I want you to be totally honest with me.
Yes, sir. You know, now, Martin, you know you can.
You've been drinking.
No.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Shame the devil now. Tell the truth.
But are you charged?
And shame the devil. Tell the truth. You've been
Are
drinking.
you charged?
No.
Are you charged?
No. I'm just asking.
Yes, I don't like charged. Sometimes he talks about women and I don't like what I hear.
Well, let me tell y'all a secret about Sarge, and I hope he listens. He don't consider himself as being black. So I'm just letting y'all know that. So now y'all know. Okay.
Martin,
yeah, I heard him say it.
I'm just telling y'all that. So, so when he talk, he's not talking from a black perspective or point of view. So I'm just telling you.
What's his channel, Mark? What's his channel?
I don't even know. They took it down. They took it down. He on YouTube.
Right.
Yeah, they took it down. But
all right, Martin.
Okay.
I'm just done.
Okay, thank you.
I don't like Tiffany, but I don't like the way they did her.
I didn't like it either. But I guess she got a dose of.
They should have kept it fair.
Yeah, they got a dose. She got a dose of all medicine because she pulled some of the same stunts.
Cool.
So sometimes
You got to be careful what you
Martin.
you can't put out in the universe. And I hated it happened to her too, but it is what it is.
I understand that, Martin.
But I figured y'all gonna beat her fair and square.
But that wasn't fair.
Yeah.
Let her get on that Dallas.
All right. Well, I got another caller. 6544. Come on, caller. Come on, caller.
You good, boy.
Yeah.
That ripple.
Come on. 6544, y'all. Come on, caller. Come on. Come on, caller. 6544. You didn't go ahead. Explain that process that you was gonna tell us anyway. You could say it. Yeah. Go ahead.
So, essentially,
we're talking about the property tax.
Chris Kagi, I think that's his name. For it's his office, and I think what's the other lady's name? Maria Pappas.
Mm-hmm.
Maria Pappas. No, you know that's the state attorney.
Okay, hold on, ma'am.
No, she's
we got one.
I'm sorry.
One mic.
Sorry, Martin.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I was shut up.
Okay.
Just like that.
I ain't tell you to shut up. I'm asking you. We just calm it down. Okay, go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
In a nutshell, Tiffany here was right. It's not on her with those taxes. That's a Cook County issue. Fritz Kagi's office is responsible for assessing the property taxes. And as the gentleman, I believe Bill stated, Lansing was not the only suburb that experienced a high tax increase. Harvey, Matson, East Hazelcrest, Country Club Hills, and a couple of other south suburbs experienced tax increases up to 30% in some cases.
And more.
Wow.
So you need to talk to someone from either Maria Pappas or Fritz Kagi's office. That's not a Tiffany Henyard issue. However, she was correct in telling you all that's not on her. She was right about that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, people. You already know what it is. Live, uncut, unedited.
You already know what it is.
I'm out here.
Live, uncut, unedited. Tell the truth.